And the river is a queen, and Steve's got the best hand. Amir now checks. Is Steve going to throw some value bet in here? It is a one-liner to a straight. We always talk about how people really do not have a tendency to value bet marginal hands. And on this board, king-queen is pretty marginal. You wonder if he does bet, will Amir call? But it looks like he's cutting some chips out here. Amir has checked. And is Steve going to come out and bet here at the end? And it does get checked down here. Again, we always talk about how people really do not have a tendency to value bet the river there. And it really gives a lot of information up. Because normally if someone's going to bet the river, they either have a made hand or a bluff.
So did I if I played.
You can email me at live@thebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestion.
My guy.
Can you get some more napkins for me, please? More napkins? Thank you, sir.
Butt moves over here to seat 7. Limped around here. Amir's going to call. It looks like we're going to see this 3 ways.
Baby change.
3 ways here between Corey, Amir, and Alan in the blinds. 8-4-3 here with a couple of spades. Well, Amir's got a gut shot here. Gut shot to the 5. Gets checked around. The turn is the 3rd spade. It's a jack. Alan still has the best hand here with middle pair. Gets checked around again. It's a 4 spade. It's an ace. Nobody has a spade. Alan's got the best hand here with a pair of 4s. And it is going to get limped around, or checked around here on the river. And he's going to take it down there with a pair of 4s.
Oh, I don't know. We can find out. Can you watch it? You know how to watch it?
Butt moves over here to seat number 8.
We'll find out. I'll find out.
And Alan's got ace-king here in the small blind.
Looks like you're playing. Oh, yeah, right.
Got a limp in here by Eamon. And Alan is going to raise it up here. Amir also limps in here on the button with deuce 4, and Alan's going to raise it up. Makes it 90 to go here with ace-king. And Eamon is going to call here, Eamon, and he's dominated. Alan's in really good shape.
He was way ahead.
Well, king 4-3, pretty big flop for both players here. Alan's hit his top pair, top kicker, and Eamon's got the nut flush draw. Now it's a $200 pot. Alan was the pre-flop raiser out of the blind. Let's see what he's going to do. He's going to bet.
I want to go 3 times on it.
Looks like about $150 bet here. And let's see what Eamon's going to do. Is he going to raise here? Is he going to call? He doesn't really have that many chips. He's got about 800 left. And he is going to... Looks like he's going to make the call. So the pot now is $500 here. And actually, we are now getting word from Brian that he is going to raise. And all the money's going in here, folks. There's no way Alan's going to get away from this hand. Eamon does not have that much left here. Looks like it's 600 a raise. Looks like Eamon might have maybe 100 more. Alan's probably going to put them all in here, and we're going to see a pot that's going to be upwards of $1,800 here.
I have to think about whether those cards
Now, this would really put Alan to the test if they were deeper, but in this game, I think it's an easy push, and he does. And Eamon is going to call, and Eamon's ace is no good. He's going to need to catch a heart or some sort of running straight or running 8 combination here. As you can see, he's about a 2-to-1 dog here, and again, this is going to be about an $1,800 pot.
I don't know. You want to wonder.
And Alan's trying to ask him if you want to make a deal. I don't think he's going to. Turn is a 7. Eamon needs a heart now and only a heart, and it does not come. And Alan is going to break Eamon. There it is. Nice hand there for Alan.
Nothing to do.
In that case, maybe this one.
Him?
Again, you can email me at live@thebike.com.
3 times, twice.
Runs too small.
3 times, you'll probably win it once. You'll win it 3 times, probably win it once.
Allow that deal making on the replay in the comments.
Because they
Big
don't.
line, Mo.
Because I think Commerce does not allow it at all.
Yeah, I know, yeah. I don't know why not.
Why not? You know the reason?
They get
They are,
confused.
no, they are paying the table in every half an hour, right?
Button moves over here to Alan in seat number 9.
And they are going to make a deal.
Mo's got the big blind here in seat
You
2.
don't want to they made a deal just because they are taking the time.
On you,
Killing
seat
your-
4.
they kill the time.
Yeah.
Slows the game.
Seat 6 is making a decision no matter how much she's behind. Don't look yet. 1,000 behind
You are
6.
paying for hours. But here, you're paying with the pot. It doesn't matter.
Seat 6 here, Eamon is going to bet he's going to play 1,000 behind.
But there, if they make more deals, you're losing the time and you paid it.
If everybody starts taking deals.
And it looks like Mike M and Mo are going to chop this one up, and they do. Mo's going to chop it up. As always, we show live cash games every Monday through Friday from 7 to 10 Pacific time. We are playing 10-20 no limit hold'em. Brown chips are $10 chips. Whites are hundreds. Yellows are $5 chips.
If you make a deal, it takes 5 minutes. It's not going to do it.
Pocket aces here for Corey in the big blind. Doesn't look like there's a whole lot out there though besides that hand.
Yes.
Mira's going to limp in here with Queen Deuce of Diamonds. Alan limps in with 9-7 of Spades.
You think? Yeah, I think it's
They haven't. They haven't.
so they can show 4 cards.
Corey's going to raise it. Raise
And we are,
Probably studded.
and Corey's going to raise it up here to 200.
Winner.
And he's going to take it down. Button moves over here to Corey in seat number 3.
Yeah, I did with 9-3 also. Against him. Flop 3, turn 3. Next time, I get 7, 7
Mo was a luck box.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it looks like we've got our... Hello, everyone. It looks like... Apologize for some of the sound difficulties we had earlier on the show. But we are back here with sound. I'm Bart Hansen. Dave Tuckman is going to be in Vegas until Monday. We're playing 10-20 no limit hold'em. I'm going to go around and introduce the table here at the end of this hand.
100.
We got a $100 raise here by Mo. He's got pocket jacks here on the button. Looks like seat number 4 here. That's a new player, Steve. He's got ace queen offsuit. He's going to make the... Looks like he has called. Alan is limped in here in mid position with 4-6 of diamonds. He makes the call. So we're going to see a $300 pot.
Hey!
And here we go to the flop. 7-6-7. You wonder if Alan's going to get involved here. It's a nice overpair here for Mo. I'm going to tell you, Alan has kind of played it a little bit weak tight the last couple months. Wouldn't be surprised if he just check folds here. Mo's going to bet 200 here. Is Alan going to get involved? Earlier on, he'd get involved in his early play, and now he is not going to get involved. So I want to clear up some issues that I read all the emails over the last week. We did do 5 days of streaming video from the Expo convention. Right there, I checked the archives out. If you go to catalog, they're separated into about 9 different files. They're not up on the calendar correctly as a date, but we will get that fixed. You can check out a charity tournament that we did on Monday with Liz Liu, Gavin Smith, Joe Seabach, John Vorhaus, Poker Pro from UB called the Poker Ho, Cloney Gowan, and some others.
Raise it to 50.
Right now, you are watching the first half an hour free of Live at the Bike. This is a sample. This will replay at the end of this show tonight, all the way up through tomorrow. If you like what you're watching and you want to watch the entire show live and get access to every show we've ever done, go to the upper left-hand corner and click on the archives. $14.95 a month gets you access to every single show we've done. Now, Mo brought this one into a raise with pocket 8s. He made it only 30 to go. He had 4 callers here, and the flop comes out Ace, Jack, 3, and it looks like we get top 2 here for Alan in seat 9. Gets checked over to Mo. He makes a $120 continuation bet, and I'm sure he is going to hear from Alan. Oh, Alan's going to slow play it.
What are you going to do?
He just checked calls here, and I assume that Mo is probably going to take a card here on the turn if he doesn't improve. The turn's a jack, and Alan's got a full house now. And it goes check, check. And the only thing that... Oh, the river's an 8! And that's going to kill Mo. I was going to say, that's the only thing that's going to get Mo in trouble. And Alan bets 400 here on the river. And I believe that Mo has moved all in. Is that right? Well, let's see here.
Bet 400.
It's a $400 bet here by Alan. Mo has made a full house at the end. This was the only card that was going to kill him here on the river. And what is Mo going to do? The pot right now is about 800, 400 to call. Is he going to raise for value here? I would assume you would. You would think that Alan had a jack here, and he would pay you off with 3 jacks. I can't imagine that Mo isn't going to raise, at least raise a little bit here. Now, the real issue is if you raise Alan and he comes back over the top for a re-raise, could you ever lay down bottom's full house here, 8's full? He's asking Alan how much he has left. Like I said, if you make a mini raise here and Alan moves over the top, what can you do? And Alan looks like he's got 2,400 left. So say you make it 1,000 to go and Alan moves in. Do you think he would just move in with just 3 jacks? This is the issue for Mo here. Is it just a call? And he is going to raise.
I'm raising 5 more.
He's going to raise it 500 more. Here's the issue, folks. And Alan immediately moves all in. Can Mo release this hand? Remember the river action. Bet, raise, and Alan has re-raised all in. You can't beat Jack 8. Now, the only thing that you might think is, did Alan slow play 3 3s that he flopped on the flop? That's the hand you can beat here. You can beat 3 full of jacks. You can obviously beat trip jacks. It was a $500 raise here by Mo, and Alan has moved all in.
1920, 1930.
And how much is it? He's got 1930. Let's do some pot calculations here. It's about a $3,700 pot, $1,900 for Mo to call. He's getting 2 to 1. If anybody remembers the video blog I did a couple weeks ago, I asked some of the pros about my hand, and Mo is not in the nature of laying down big hands here, but this would be one hell of a laydown if he makes it. He is getting 2 to 1. Remember, bet on the river. He raises. Alan has now moved in. I think it's a good raise amount here if Mo raised with the intention of folding to a river re-raise, because he gets value getting called by 3 jacks, but now that Alan has moved back over the top all in, and it is Alan, I think if you raised at 500, I think you lay this hand down. It's obviously easier for me to say, but I thought that was what he was trying to do with just the $500 raise on the river. Remember, he can beat 3s full. That would be the thing I'm thinking of if I'm him. If he's got 3s full, I have that beat. But would Alan really come back over the top? The other thing, too, is, do you think that Alan's made some sort of backdoor hearts here? But I just don't know what he would call with. Maybe he's got the 3 of hearts in his hand. He had a pair, got stubborn with bottom pair, and ran into a flush here, like he's got king 3 of hearts. That might be a possibility. I got to tell you, though, the way Alan's played lately, I don't think he calls a flop with king 3 of hearts. Again, it's about a $3,700 pot, about $1,900 for Mo to call. And he is real. Remember, though, I made the mistake of not moving all in kind of a situation like this when I was Alan. I didn't have a hand as good as ace-jack, but I basically almost had the second nut. And a lot of the pros I asked about the way, they said I should have moved all in. You can check that hand out in the video blog. Because Mo is not in the business of laying down big hands. He's really trying to figure this out. Gotta tell you, though, if he made that little sniffer raise on the river, I like a fold to a river re-raise here by Alan. But again, Mo is not in the nature of laying down big hands, and he calls. And Alan's got a great hand here with ace-jack. And he is going to double through. Which makes me even think more of the fact that I should have re-raced Mo on the river with my hand against him. If anyone's not familiar, you can check out the video blog on the left-hand side of your screen. I basically had the second nut full house. There was an ace and a king out there and a jack. And I had aces full of jacks. 2 aces, a king, and a jack. I had aces full of jacks. I bet the river. Mo raised me with kings full, and I just called, and I won the hand. But if I had pushed, the question was, would he have called with kings full? I think the way that hand went out, probably the answer was yes. I just don't necessarily, if I'm Mo there, I can't really manufacture a hand that I can beat with 8s full. When Alan bets the river, I raise and he moves in. Alan's not really the type of player that's going to do it with a flush on a paired board. I don't necessarily think he's going to play 3s in that manner there. I think he would just call with all those hands. But again, Mo is not in the nature of laying down big hands. What a hand to start off the night. As you can see, I'm still suffering from a bit of what Isaac calls Vegas voice. The never-ending dry air conditioning of Las Vegas. Here we go. We're going to see the... Oh, look at this. Garland's got pocket aces here in seat 5. And Garland here has raised it up to 70 out of the small blind. Alan has limped in with king, queen suited.
2 players.
And we are heads up. Uh-oh, Alan's got top pairs. How much is he going to get involved here? Now, Garland does not have that much here. He looks like he's got about 850. He's going to come out and bet. And I don't know with Garland's jib stack if Alan's going to get away from this hand. He's going to bet 140 here. And Alan's going to raise. I think this is an easy push here for Garland. He's got 800 here. I think it's an easy push. Remember, I don't want to go broke with 1 pair, and I don't want to play a big pot with 1 pair, but he's playing perfect short stack poker. It's a great move here, and there's no way Alan's getting away from it. And Garland's going to double up here unless Alan gets a little bit lucky. He's got about a 3-to-1 edge here with 2 cards to come. Alan needs to hit running hearts, a queen, or a king here on the next 2 cards.
No, I got 1 pair. If you have 2 pair better, you have... I got 2. I got aces.
Yeah, there it is. And this pot is going to be about $1,800. And they're just going to run it once. Here we go to the turn. Turn's a 5. Alan needs... He can't even catch a queen now. That's actually a horrible card for Alan. The river's a 10. Once that board paired, a queen was no good for Alan, as Garland would have had aces up. Alan only had 3 outs there at the end. Nice hand there for Alan. Excuse me, for Garland. And he is going to double through right away. Seems like a bunch of people are saying that I had too much blow in Vegas. That's why my voice is this way. That maybe I didn't miss out on the tournament. It was just $5,000 nose candy habit. Well, not really. As always, you can email me at live@thebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestions. Also, follow a live thread on 2plus2. 2plus2.com spelled out. Click on forums. Televised poker. Official Live at the Bike thread for August 3rd. We are into our first day of Legends. This is 10-20 no limit hold'em, $1,000 min uncapped buy-in. Brown chips are $10 chips, whites are hundreds.
60.
Corey's going to bring this in for a little raise here with ace-5 of clubs. Excuse me, it was a $60 raise here by Amir with ace-king. Corey calls. Garland's going to call as well with deuces. Eamon's in there with king-jack. And seat 7 is in there with 8-9. So 60 times 5, $300 pot. Here we go to the flop. 10-3-4, a couple diamonds. It looks like Garland actually might have the best hand here. Amir is going to bet 230. That's probably going to get it done. Garland does have the best hand. But I don't think anyone's going to call here. That's a pretty brave continuation bet there if you're Amir. You know, it's funny. If anyone caught the episode of The Circuit from Tuesday morning, it was the live circuit show. And if you look at that board, there was a caller that called up regarding continuation bets in tournaments and in cash games. And I said, normally, in a cash game where you tend to see more multi-way pots, I have no problem checking and folding ace-king there with the 10-3-4 board out of position. I actually think it's the right play. Amir just happened to get a little lucky that everybody missed that hand. But there is an inherent need to accumulate chips in a cash game like there is in a tournament. It's a pretty aggressive play. I might probably just check fold there. Got a $60 raise here by Mike M. This is the first hand he's played all night. Pocket fives. Amir is going to call here with King 9 in it. And there's the king. King, Jack 4. Now, Mike only has 200 left. Well, Amir checks, and Mike checks right behind him. Turn is the third heart. It's the 8, and Amir looks like he's going to put Mike M. Well, he's going to bet 100. Mike M is not going to get involved. Looks like Amir showed the king, and he's going to take it down there. Again, I'll explain it. This is a 30-minute free sample of Live the Bike that we are looping tonight, live, and tomorrow. If you want to watch the show in its entirety, click on the upper left-hand corner of the screen on the on-demand banner. $14.95 a month gets you access to every show that we've ever done, over 1,500 hours of content. It will also allow you to not be redirected after this first half an hour sample has concluded, which is approximately 5 minutes from now. Because if you are not a subscriber, you will be redirected back to the demo. If you are a subscriber, you will continue on with the live show. So again, there was a little bit of confusion. A lot of people emailed saying, well, I'm a subscriber. Why am I only seeing a half an hour of the show rerunning? That's because you have to watch the show in the archives. Now, we had a button raise here. Button raise here by Mike with ace-3 of diamonds, and Mike M is going to move all in here with 8-10 of diamonds, and it looks like Mike with ace-3 is getting about 2-1, and he's going to make the call, and he is a little bit out in front here. Now 8-10 has live cards. You know, it's interesting to note with this hand, we always talk about how ace-rag really doesn't, it's not a great hand heads up, queen 9-9, because you're not ever really that much of a favorite over anything. But at the same time, you're not more than a 2-1 dog against anything. And Mike got more than 2-1 there. And as you can see, the ace high is going to win there. Queens and 9s with an ace. I'm sure that Mike M is hoping that's a chop, as it's queens and 9s with a king up there. But Mike is going to take it down there with an ace. Remember, it's always correct to make calls in cash games when you are getting the correct odds, whereas in a tournament you actually might take a little bit of the worst of it because you might not want to, say, take a 51-49% edge against somebody who can bust you out, especially if you had a lot of chips. But if you have an ace there and you're getting more than 2-1, I think it's almost always correct to call. And Mike M is going to rebuy here for 1,000 behind. $100. Looks like we're going to see a raise here by Amir. He's got 8-10 of hearts. And Eamon is going to come in. He's going to call with queen 9 of hearts. And we are heads up here for about a $200 pot. Jack 8-7 here. Well, Amir's got the best of it. Eamon's got a gut shot, straight draw. 2 spades out there. Amir bets 200, and I'm sure Eamon's probably going to be done with this hand. He's way behind. Pretty much totally whiffed on this flop. Don't really know what he's thinking about there. Am I missing something here? I always wonder, it's always interesting when I look at what's out there and what he has in his hand. I'm like, what is he taking so long with? He's got 800 behind. It's not like he can really make a great big move here. But I think that we will see a lot of these types of situations with tournament players. Making check raises when they just think the other guy's missed with absolutely nothing. Something that's probably not really that profitable in a cash game. I mean, they tend to do it in tournaments if you have a big chip stack because you can risk money and still not be dead. But in a cash game, you're just burning through money when you do that. And Amir takes it down there. Congratulations to Dave Tuckman for winning a World Series of Poker event. Unfortunately for him, he didn't win a bracelet and he didn't win any money. How is that, you say? He actually won the media charity event last week. Yeah, Brian Tushman. Brian said I got the name wrong. Again, as I was saying, that the archives right now, if you want to watch some of the Vegas streams, go to Catalog and check it out. It's split up into 9 different finals. It's not up on the calendar properly. We will get that fixed. We're going to see 5-way action limped around. 10-9-6 here with a couple of hearts. And it looks like Mike in seat 7's got the best hand right now. He's going to bet 80. And the button here, seat number 1 with Queen 10, he's going to make the raise with top pair. And actually, Mike M has the best hand here on the button. Mike in seat 7 has thrown a bet out here with a pair and a gut shot to the 7. I really don't know if you can continue on here with 8-9. It's really not that good of a hand on this board. Obviously, 8-9 of hearts would be much different. But let's see what Mike is going to do here. Is he going to continue on? And he does. He makes the call. Now, again, you really have to finagle this hand with Queen 10 if you're deeper. Turns a 6. It's a pretty good card there if you think Queen 10 is good on the flop. All right, it looks like Mike in seat 7 is going to pull the bet, get raised, and then call, and then lead out on the turn. He is led out on the turn here. Now, if you're Mike M in seat number 1, maybe you think this guy has a 10 and he's just betting out on a safe card. The problem for you with Queen 10 is the only thing you can really beat here is Jack 10. And he folds. And you don't really blame him. I mean, that's just about it, Jack 10. Or I guess if the guy was betting with 8-9, you can beat that, or 7-9. We're going to do the first chip count here of the night. Well, about $19,000 here on the table. Allen in seat 9 with the big winner here so far. A couple of big hands. Eamon pulling up the rear. Let's take a look at the differences. Garland is also doubled up. Garland is up about, well, get it, 600. Allen, a quick $4,000 winner.
80.
And Mo's only down 200 because he won that hand against Steve, and I think he won a couple of hands right before the show. Amir is going to raise it up here to 80. Ace, Jack of hearts. Well, Mike is not even going to get involved. It looks like Mike is pretty deep there. Doesn't get involved with the 4s. So check out the archives and check out, especially Monday of this week where we did that tournament with Liz Liu. It was a charity tournament. Liz Liu, Joe Seebach, Gavin Smith, John Vorhaus, Poker Ho from Ultimate Bet, Cloney Gowan. I can tell you, oh man, Gavin did the color with me for maybe the last 45 minutes of the tournament. Fabulous. All we were doing was making fun of John Vorhaus. It was one of the most hilarious things I've ever done. Again, David and I were on the circuit for the second time on Tuesday. Check that out, cardplayer.com. Playing 10-20 no limit hold'em here. Whites are hundreds, browns are tens. And they're going to chop this one up.
I get chop on this, please? Okay. I didn't get a chance. Thank you.
Well, Amir's got ace king of hearts. Looks like he just limped in here from up front. Mike in seat number 7, he's in the blind with 9s, and he is going to raise. Now, you wonder if Amir is going to pull the limp raise, re-raise here. Now he's just going to call. A quick call here. And Mike M over there is going to also call. Boy, he's really not deep enough to make that call with 7-9 offsuit, but he does. Well, ace queen 4 here, and Amir's outflopped everybody. And Mike isn't even going to bet. And Amir checks it. He's going to play a cagey one time, and it gets checked around. Well, the turn is a jack. And now Amir is going to bet.
230.
He's going to bet 230 here. And I think that Mike in seat number 7 just gave up on that one. You know, not a bad check fold there, really. Amir decided to play that a little bit cagey. And again, when you've got a guy in the hand there like seat number 1, it really isn't that bad of a play to check that one time to try to get that guy to put his chips in. You know, if you're deeper, you definitely need to manipulate it, you know, in another way. But now Allen is back to the table, and he's going to straddle here.
Raise. 150 total.
And we're going to see a $150 raise here by Mike M. Now, this is going to be interesting. Garland's got ace queen of clubs here. And Mike M there does not have much left. He's got about 600 left, and Garland's just going to fold it. Really not that bad of a play. I think it's probably a fold or a re-raise.
Anita. 2 players.
But Allen calls with queen 10. So pocket jacks against queen 10. And look at that. Garland would have flopped top 2, and the flop comes out.
Looking on the board here. 200.
Ace jack queen here. And we got bottom set here. Bottom set here for Mike M. Is Allen going to continue on here with the pair? Pair and a straight draw? And he does. He makes the call. And he's in terrible shape. He's going to need to catch a king here pretty much, and a king only. Turn is a 7.
Check.
Allen checks. And the last, looks like $300 here from Mike M's going in.
290.
290. If Allen makes this call, he's going to need to catch a king and a king only to win. And luckily for Garland, he got out of there, because I think Garland would have committed all his chips with his hand as well. I mean, Garland looks disappointed now, but when Mike M turns over the set, the river is an 8.
3 checks.
Garland must be happy about that in seat 5. And Mike M there is going to double through Allen in seat number 1. Looks like we're through our first, say, 45 minutes of the show. Live at thebike.com. As always, first and only live cash game streamed on the internet. We had a really, really fun time in Vegas. Almost too much fun. Met a lot of interesting people. I went to a very, very fun party at the end there on Tuesday night. Kenna James party to help charity Wounded Warriors. Played in a charity event at Caesars noon on Tuesday. The David Benjamin one. And, oh man, so many things that went on there. We made so many good contacts. Dave Benjamin and Eric Schoenberg are going to probably come on the show here during Legends. I'll tell you one of the coolest things, and I'll tell you about it after this hand. Little mini raise here by Mike M with Queen Jack, King 7-4 rainbow on the flop. It's going to get checked around. No one's going to bet at it here. Everybody's missed. Turn is a 10. Mike M is now open-ended. Let's see if he's going to throw a bet out here. Well, Amir's going to beat him to a punch. Amir is going to bet here on a pair of sevens, and Allen calls. Allen calls with bottom pair. And is Mike M going to make a huge semi-bluff here and maybe represent 3 kings? I think if he actually raised here, I think, you know, obviously he would take it down. No one's going to call. Can he represent the fact that he slow played 3 kings here? No, he's just going to call. Now he's got overs and a straight draw, and the turn's a 9, and now he's got the stone cold nuts. Amir checks. And is Allen going to bluff out at it? Oh, wow. Allen bets 300. And let's see how much Mike M is going to raise it up here. It's a $500 pot, 300 to call. When he makes the call, it makes it 800. Maybe he raise about 600. It looks like he's got maybe 1,600 there, so maybe he raises at 500 or 600. Problem here is I don't think Allen or Amir are going to call. I would be shocked if he raises and gets a call here, but he's staring down at the nuts right now.
Raise.
And I think he might. How much more is he going to make it? 400 more? 400 more. I don't think anyone's going to call here. Yeah, easy lay down there for both players. So one of the other interesting developments is that Dave was doing some work for the Poker Channel in the UK, which is, of course, where the LA poker scene runs. He did a 2-hour dinner interview with Phil Locke where they were basically just mic'd up. And now that our Wednesday game is unrestricted, I think that Phil Locke might come and play every single week here, or at least a few times a month. The only reason why he wasn't before is because it was a restricted game. He wants to show his cards for the experience of it and listening to the commentary and such, because the 2040 No Limit game is his normal game over there at the other casino, so... Amir's going to make a little mini raise here, double the blind, 40.
Quarter. Service.
Now, is Mike M going to defend here with 7-9 offsuit? He makes the call.
Service, please.
Well, Queen 8-4 here. Both players have missed. And Amir does not make the continuation bet. Checked around here on the flop, turns a 7, and Mike M now has the best hand. He's got to throw a little $40, about a pot-sized bet here. That's probably going to do it, and it does. Bart has Vegas voice. I guess that's better than the Carson City clap. Yes, probably. Or the Reno Ricketts. Anybody been to Carson City? I haven't. You have? Who the hell's ever been to Carson City anyways? Do they have a separate airport besides the Reno airport? Carson City's always like it's like an old west town, right? Isn't it kind of like a Deadwood, South Dakota? Limped around here. And we're going to see four-way action. Ace-4 king with a couple of clubs. Looks like Steve might have the best hand here with sixes. And now he turns a set.
40.
Well, Mike M actually had middle pair, and he's going to come out and bet 40 now. Wow, and Steve just calls. That's unbelievable. Well, I imagine from what I've seen from Mike M that he's probably not going to come out and bet again. Well, maybe he throws a little bit of a blockish bet out.
80.
Now, if he was betting some sort of straight draw, he might have gotten there. Say he was betting deuce 3, a wheel draw, he made it. I assume, though, that Steve has played this to raise here on the river. I would really like a raise there on the turn, though. Yeah, it looks like he's probably going to mini raise here. To the easy lay down here for Mike. Yeah, a mini raise, 80 more. It's absolutely amazing how some tournament players play so backwards. Because sometimes in tournaments it is almost proper to play backwards, but they don't make the adjustment in cash games. Almost all tournament players. The ones that are normally the ones that are trying to get, say, backing or don't play in big cash games, what you call like a railbird type thing. They take their money from tournament winnings and then go blow it in the cash games. Tournament donks. Alan has limped in here with Queen 6 of clubs from seat 9.
Alan. Let Amir say. Not.
Mo is also going to limp in.
You smoking guys, when you go smoke mistakes, I don't know.
Three-way action. Queen 10-6. And Alan's flopped 2 pair. Top and bottom. And he's going to throw a little bet out here. Bet's 50. Wow, Mo is going to call with middle pair. Now, if Mo catches a 7 here, is he going to get involved, or is he going to get into some trouble? I would imagine if Alan bets here again, that Mo is probably not going to call. Well, the turn's in 9. Mo picks up a gut shot straight draw now, and Alan bets 100 now. Yeah, and Mo is done. Mo has played with Alan so much.
Connor, what's the time limit? What's the time limit for being drawn from this game?
Post here on 2+2 by Tony LA says, a month full of tournament players playing tournament poker in cash games. I'll be spending a lot of time at the bike in August. I gotta tell you, and Pajito says, how do you think we pay for the overpriced real estate and $4 a gallon gas? I've never seen $4 a gallon gas, really, in California until I drove back from Vegas last night. And I'll tell you what happened. I underestimated the distance between Primm and Baker. I thought it was only about 20 miles. It, in fact, is 50 miles from the state line to Baker. So I only had about 30 miles of gas left. I had to stop at a rest stop at 10 p.m. Not a rest stop, but like one of those one gas station towns in between Primm and Baker. And it was scary in Eastern California. And to make a long story short, 87 octane fuel was $4.89 a gallon. 765 here with a couple of clubs. Limped around. I forget the name of the town. I don't know if it was Old Halloran Road, or I think it was the exit before Old Halloran Road. Man. Little bet out here by Mike with Queen Jack. I have no idea what that's supposed to accomplish. And Alan has called here with Ace 3. I don't even know. I mean, he's called with the bottom end of a gut shot? Well, he's picked up a pair now. It's a third club. And Mike is going to continue to fire here. I still don't know what Alan was calling. I mean, sometimes it's strange when Alan calls a flop because you have no idea what he's calling with. Looks like Mike has kind of got a...
You're only small. I'm in the face.
Button moves over here to seed 3. The button moves here to seed 3. Ray, why don't you get her to wave in the camera? I haven't seen her for a week and a half. Bring a smile to my face. Who's to stop her? Oh, man. The lovely Tracy, the cocktail waitress.
80.
Got an $80 raise here by Mike. Well, Alan's going to call. Alan's got the same hand. Amir's in there with this little suited connector. I like Amir's hand against these two players right now. Three-way action. Well, it's missed everybody. And it's checked around. Turn is an ace. Mike, M, and Alan now have the best hand. Allen's going to bet 80 here.
200.
And look at this. Mike M is going to raise it up here to 200. I got to tell you, if Allen calls here, you might play this as a raise and a check the river. Kind of pull that move out of limit hold'em. Raise the turn, get some fold equity, and check the river with ace-jack. Because if Allen calls here, boy, I don't know where I am at with ace-jack. Although, the only thing, actually, the more and more I think about it, you wonder, he probably, the only thing he actually lose to is ace-king. He might re-raise with ace-queen, and he might also call you with ace-10 or ace-9. So would you put a value bet in here? Now the river's a queen, but it does go check-check, which is kind of what I was expecting with that raise on the turn. Especially when the river comes a third queen. But again, you wonder, you make extra money by value betting the river sometimes with marginal hands. And if I raise the turn there and Allen calls me, would he just call? I guess he might just call with something like deuce 4 that he slow played. But would I also get a call from him if he had ace-10 or ace-9 on the river?
It'd be worse. Not better. Yeah, he's king.
Email here from George, I guess. He says, "Hey Bart, where is Dave? There was no sound for the first 15 minutes if you mentioned it then." Yes, we are aware.
80.
Wow, a couple of big hands, 3 big hands here. Open raise here by Mike with ace-queen of hearts. Pocket jacks over there for Allen. Just a smooth call. Mike M has got queens. Now, might you just call here as well, or do you need to raise for information? Queens are always so tough and tricky sometimes. And he's going to make it 280 here.
He didn't like me.
So he's going to raise it up 200.
Yeah. No, his verbal is first.
No, it's 280.
It's a pretty easy laydown here for ace-queen of hearts, but he instantly calls from up front. Well, I'm looking and seeing how deep he is relative to how deep Mike M is. Well, 9-6-3 of clubs. Check, check. And Allen is check jacks, and is Allen going to get in trouble here? He has an overpair. He does not beat queens, kings, aces, or pocket nines.
700.
And a $700 bet here. I got to tell you, Mike M, this screams like this is an overpair. I suppose he might have played pocket tens maybe the same way, but I don't buy it here from this guy. He's played pretty tight the entire night. I think this is a relatively easy laydown here for Allen. I really do. Now the problem here that what Mike M might get into is, what if Allen puts him in? What if Allen check raises all in? Do you put the guy on a set? Although I think you would call Allen because he might do it with tens or jacks. And Allen isn't the type of guy that's going to smooth call with aces or kings. But sometimes you have to really think of the possibilities. What hands can you beat with queens? Because there are oftentimes a lot of guys will smooth call pre-flop raises with aces and kings. Although he probably would have re-raised with third player in there. But I really do think this is a relatively easy laydown here for Allen.
You're lucky you're running good. I would normally put you all in with this one.
Well, Allen said, "You're lucky if I'm running good." Mike M showed him queens. It's a nice laydown there for Allen.
Put me all in there. You got me beat.
Turn was an 8, river was a deuce.
On the river.
Put me all in if you got me beat.
Either turn or river. Nice laydown, Alan.
Had an email here from Garrick Addison. He said, "My first time watching live after recently become a subscriber. And no sound. Very disappointing. Great show, though. I've been enjoying the archives during the downtime this past week." Well, Garrick, thank you.
I can't lie because you guys are going to see it. Let's look at jacks.
Again, all the archives are up. Check out the Las Vegas Gaming Expo.
No. I just thought that was you missed this time. I just thought that was beating. This time you missed. Even if he's got ace king.
Corey's got king 3 of clubs. Wow, he's going to raise it up here to 120. He's usually a relatively tight player.
Even if he's got ace king of clubs, still I'm in danger. Yeah, I'm in danger. So every way's I can call.
It looks like he's going to take it down here without any resistance. I'll tell you a little bit of a funny story as well. So Mo, Barry Woods, and I all put Al Barbieri, Sugar Bear Philly Al Barbieri, into about 17 or 18 events. And he went over. So we decided to not put him into the main event, and I think he sold himself off to other people. He's still in the tournament, about to cash. Of course. If anybody missed the Las Vegas Gaming Expo, again, watch it in the archives. We had some great interviews. We had Barry Greenstein for about a 20-minute interview. Great stuff. Vanessa Russo, what a sweetheart she was. Her and Genocide, Jennifer Lee, kind of agreed to play a little form of strip poker on the show here later on in the month. So everybody can look forward to that. Corey's going to raise it up here. Going to make it 120 to go with ace-queen. Heads up strip poker between Jennifer, Genocide Lee, and Vanessa Russo. Hopefully I'll get Liz Liu in there as well. Eric Seidel, Hoyt Corkins, Barry Greenstein, Cindy Violette, Miami, John Cernudo. Robert Ory, Mike Carroll, the mad genius of poker. I'm trying to think of some of the other people that we had. Dutch Boyd. That was an interesting one as well. About a 10-minute interview. You should go back and watch all of these, because Dutch Boyd might have even been the one that was the most fascinating. I'll tell you why in a second here. Three-way action. Seat number 3, Corey made it 40 with a little mini raise with an ace-7 of diamonds. And he's picked up the nut flush draw here on the flop. He's going to bet 100. Now, Amir, he's got a gut shot to the queen. He's got the king of diamonds. A couple of overcards. Alan's totally missed here. I think Corey's going to take this one down. So, Dutch Boyd, I got to tell you, it was a really hilarious, just an interesting interview. You know, I asked him about how much poker he's been playing lately, bring games and tournaments. He said he hasn't been playing that much poker lately because he's been concentrating on rake-free poker. And I kind of put him on the spot, and I said, well, do you really think anybody would sign up for a site that was run by you after the PokerSpot incident? If anyone's not familiar with the PokerSpot incident, basically what happened was Dutch ran a site that went down, and a lot of people got stiffed with money. People had money in their account, and they never got it. And he said, well, yeah, I guess you're right. I don't think it will work, probably because of my PokerSpot incident. And he said he was too lazy to really do it, take it seriously. And then he went on to say about how he has the dreams of poker. Bringing poker into a rake-free environment would change the face of poker, where it wouldn't just be about 10% of people consistently winning poker. It would be over 50%. And people in Argentina and Brazil, little kids who are sweatshop workers, can play like 10-cent, 25-cent poker for a living. Really interesting interview. Now, we had a raise here by Amir. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in the hand, and Amir's hit top pair. Queen 9 deuce. Queen Jack is good here.
130.
He's going to bet 130. About a half pot size bet. Doesn't look like anyone really has all that much. Eamon there has ace-9. You wonder if he's going to get stubborn with it. Kind of a smallish bet. And again, I wouldn't really be surprised if he were to check raise with something like that, but he's going to call. You got to really start to think, if you're Amir, what does this guy have? If I have the best hand, how can I extract the most money? Because he is on the short stack. Here we go to the turn. Well, the turn's an ace, and Eamon turns aces up.
300.
And he checks it. Amir bets 300 now.
Yeah,
I got to tell you, if you're Eamon, how about a call and a move in on the river? Wow, but look at this. He moves in, and Amir immediately calls him. Amir needs a queen. Actually, he needs a queen and a queen only. And the river's a 5. And Eamon is going to double through Amir here with aces up. I mean, not even a second thought there for the call by Amir. But I mean, I had heard a lot of kind of bad things about Vanessa Russo, and I don't know. She just seemed like she was a sweetheart to me. The other interesting thing that Vanessa Russo said, that she had a lot of offers from law firms to become, say, an associate, but she's doing what she loves. She studied a lot of game theory at Duke, and she's really interested in commentating, and she did a pretty good job with Kenna James at the Horse Final Table on Bluff Poker Radio. And I'm looking forward to having her in here to really do some analytical commentary. I gotta tell you, I know Live at the Bike was sponsors of Bluff, but I almost have to call them out. David and I were supposed to do some commentary, and they just never got back to me. It kind of annoyed me. Mike M here, looks like first mistake here of the night by Ronnie McMillan. He's got Queen 10. He's open-ended. Turn is a 7. Ace, Jack 9. Turns a 7 of hearts. And we're going to see a little bluff bet here by Mike with 5-6. The turn was the 7 of hearts. Mike is going to call. And has Mo made a check raise here on a seat 2? Oh, just a call there by Mo as well. Interesting. Well, he has actually got a double gut shot. Could catch a straight with an 8. Now, the problem for Mo, though, is if he catches an offsuit 8, Mike M is going to have a higher straight. And Iman has the best hand here with ace high, is that right? It looks like... Am I missing something? Because it looks like Steve had it with 4s. Everybody's on a draw, basically, now. Iman is still in there. He has not folded yet. And he's going to make the call. So everybody's on a draw. And if catches an 8, the river's a 9. I was going to say, if an 8 comes, Mo might lose a lot of money. If this one just gets checked down, ace high is going to win here. Everybody missed their draw. Ace 8 is going to take down about a $400 pot. Excuse me, and it's top pair there with ace 8. I didn't see that. There we go. That makes a lot more sense. I was thinking to myself, why is Iman out in the lead there? Because he has a top pair there. He made the overcall there on the turn. River was a 9. Pair of aces takes it down.
There's no hearts left in the deck.
Mistake begets mistake, much like card mistake begets commentating mistake. Button moves over here to seat 1. Well, Steve has got ace queen here in seat 4, just a limp.
Service, please. Double 0. Service, please. Seat 5, please.
Can you?
8, please.
Got an $80 raise here by Mike with ace queen, and Alan's going to call with ace rag. Oh, what's wrong with that? Ace queen, and ace 8. And look at the seat 4. Steve just got rid of the ace queen. Now everybody's missed here. Mike is going to make the continuation bet. King 9-6 here with a couple spades. Going to take it down. The button moves over here to seat 2. That's Mo. And here we go with the chip count. $21,000 on the table. Corey's up to $5,300. He bought in another $2,000. Alan's up $4,000, so maybe Corey's trying to cover Alan. Let's take a look at the differences. Alan's $2,500. Garland up $600. Mike W at $300. We got an $80 raise here by Mike M. King 10 offsuit. Looks like it was a straddle. Oh, no, just looked like it might have been a straddle pot. Not quite. And Eamon is going to call with King 8 of clubs, and that brings Alan in.
3 players.
And here we go to the flop 3 ways. Jack 9-6 with a couple of hearts.
Hi, Mike.
No one has hit anything here. Corporation Mike sounds like he's in the background there. He also did not do well at the main event.
Okay.
Checked around. Mike M did not make the continuation bet. The turn is a 3, and Alan still has the best hand here. The pair of sexes checked around once again. And the river's a 10. And might you ever make a little value bet if you're Mike M, or is he just content? Well, Eamon is going to throw a little bit of a bluff bet out here with King High. He's going to bet 100. Now, the issue now, though, is if Alan calls, can you overcall with King 10? Sometimes it's so screwy when somebody bets such a small portion of the pot, because now when a guy calls in between, you're not really overcalling, even though that you are. You just don't give any credit for the kind of the BS bet from up front. Yeah, and he does overcall with King 10. I got to tell you, if it was a real river bet and Alan called, I think it would probably be an easy laydown with King 10. But he just tossed it off, and he made the call. Got an email here from Maria Carrillo saying, and this is Superfan. We met her at we call her Superfan, Las Vegas Superfan. It was such a great pleasure to meet you and David. I had a blast playing with the both of you. Are you going to have the heads up play in the archives along with my interview? I'm dying to watch Maria. And yes, we are. And you can check that out on the second day. David played heads up against Maria. He won. And then she played up against me, sucked out a couple of times, and she beat me. And then David and I actually played a heads up match together the next day on the third day. That was fun as well. We also did an interview with Baron Vangor Toth. And he never did buy me the beer that he promised me. Pocket Ace is here for seat 7. And he's in the straddle spot, is that right? No, it looked like he just limped. Oh, he did raise. He made it 40. He min raised to 40 with aces from up front. That is amazing.
4 players.
And you wonder if he's going to lose a lot here if someone hits 2 pair. Well, 5, 6, 9 here. Alan's got a pair and a gut shot. Mike is okay for now. And Mike's going to bet the pot. He's going to bet 80. And you would imagine that Alan's going to at least call here. Alan could catch an 8, a 6, or a 7 to prove his hand. Wow, and Corey is going to overcall here with top pair with Jack 9. Here we go to the turn. Well, the turn's a 10. Mike is still good with aces, but how would you ever know it? Well,
300.
now he's going to bet 300. Boy, is this playing aces dangerously. Takes it down. Email here from the Bike Observer says, so Bart, you read an email asking where David's tonight, but never answered the question. Well, Dave is he's doing a couple of other things with the Poker Channel in the UK until tomorrow. They were scheduled to bring Kenneth James to a gun club this morning and do an interview with him shooting pistols and rifles. I don't know if that went down, though. I tried to call him up. That was part of a bid that we made on a certain item at the charity event that Kenneth would give us a couple hours, or give them a couple hours at a gun club. David also bid $1,400 out of his pocket on an item on a cowboy hat and 8 hours of poker lessons from Kenna. And I believe that Dave and I are both going to do that at some point. But he actually paid $1,400 out of his pocket. Now look at this. Allen is limped in with queens from up front. And let's see if he's going to pull the limp re-raise. We had a raise here by Mo with King 10. Whenever Corporation Mike is not in this game, it does not play all that big.
200 more.
And he is going to limp re-raise up here to 200. It's an easy fold here for Mo. Steve with the ace-jack offsuit. He's out of there. Allen takes it down. And I think that I don't know when we can get it up, but maybe we can get up like a listing of where those interviews are from the Vegas Expo and like the notes, because I know someone just emailed me about that. Again, we had about 10 or 15 really good, interesting interviews. Eric Seidel, Barry Greenstein, Hoyt Corkins, Vanessa Russo, Mike Caro. The list goes on and on. Dutch Boyd, Miami John Cernuto, Cindy Violet, Gavin Smith, Joe Seabach, played in the game, as well as Liz Liu, Poker Ho from Ultimate Bet,
200.
John Vorhaus, Cloney Gowan, Cloney and Rick, if anyone remembers. Got a $200 raise here by Mo with ace-jack offsuit. Interesting post here by Kev Matthews. Says, when Bluff has talent like John Vorhaus, they don't need Barton Tuck. Well, you know, I was pretty much thinking the same thing, but I didn't want to say it out loud. Mo takes it down here. Everyone can check out a Butt moves over here to seat 6. And that is Eamon there in seat 6.
50.
Mo's going to raise it up here again. This time he's got ace-queen.
50. 150.
And Garland is going to re-raise here with ace-king. He's going to make it 150.
2 queens.
Mo calls. And here we go to the flop. Well, Garland's flopped a monster here. 9-7-3 with a couple of clubs. Overcards and a nut flush draw. He's going to bet 300 and he's going to take it down. Nice hand there for Garland. Surprised that Mo even made the call with the re-raise out of position against Garland. Remember, Garland's playing pretty high game. Garrick says, thanks for the shout out, Bart, on the show. Butt moves over here to seat 7. Pocket deuces here for Eamon. He's going to limp in. Mo's got 3s from up front.
3 queens.
And it is limped around here. Queen 8-8 with a couple of spades. Checked around on the flop. The turn is a 7. And Mo's going to throw a little $50 bet out here with pocket 3s. And he's going to take it down there.
You want to buy the bike?
Again, you can email me at live@thebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestions. Always appreciated. I'm choosing my words carefully, trying to save my voice up a little. Hopefully it will be back totally to normal on Monday. You know, it was funny. The first day in Vegas, my voice started to shoot off, and I really didn't do that much partying. I tried to get at least 7 hours of sleep every night. Pocket kings here for C at 5, Garland. And he's going to raise it up. Going to make it 80 to go. Now, Amir has ace-9 on the button offsuit, and he makes a call. That is just to Garland, I don't know what he is trying to hit there. Why you would ever call Garland's raise with ace-9 offsuit is beyond me. And we are heads up here to the flop. Well, now is he going to get involved here? He's hit flop top pair. Now for Garland, though, you remember, now he's a little bit deep. So if Garland bets and Amir raises, it almost puts Garland in a little bit of a tough spot. But I got to tell you, if I'm Garland, I might put all my money in with kings. Because if Amir raises right away, I don't put him on a big hand. I've seen Amir play so much. It's a $160 bet, and just a call here by Amir. And I got to tell you, for me with kings, that's scarier than if you raise the flop. Oh, the turn's a 9. Are you kidding me? This is a la that hand with ace-9 with Jonas with pocket kings against Adam from a couple of months ago. And Garland's not going to slow down here. Maybe he thinks Amir's on a flush draw. He's going to bet 300 here. Jonas had kings and Adam flop trip 9s. Jonas lost most of his stack. How is Amir going to play this? Again, we always talk about if you get raised on the turn, it's rarely good, and he's just going to call. And the river here is an ace, and Amir fills up. And is that an action killer? Oh, what an awful card for Amir. Everything is completed. Garland can't beat an ace, but he can't beat the flush, more importantly. The hand smells like it was a flush. And Amir bets, and I think this is a pretty easy laydown here for Garland. And Amir costs himself possibly all of Garland's stack by slow playing. I got to tell you, Amir pretty much played that hand wrong on every single street. The call pre-flop was questionable. Maybe just a call on the flop. He didn't raise the turn, and an absolute action killer came on the river. He made the absolute minimum on the hand, with a hand that he shouldn't have even been in there with. Unbelievable. That's why you raise, not necessarily because you're afraid of the strength of your hand, but because a card can come out to kill your action.
Big popper carry or what? If you have 9s, you have
80.
Mike Mattisau, Kevin Matt says. That's right. We also had him on.
You have a flush, you have a key. Is there a flush on there? The third, spade. You have a 9, you have a flush.
And we got a raise here by seat number 7 with ace-jack of clubs. Mo's going to come in with 6s. Corey calls with the ace-3 of diamonds. Here we go to the flop.
I want to find out too. I would make my choice.
Well, king-queen 4 here. Corey's got the nut flush draw. Mike's flopped a gut shot, and it gets checked around. Turns a diamond. Corey's got the nuts. And look at this. Mike makes a Broadway straight here. Corey's going to come out and bet here. He's going to bet 70. 2 players have made hands here, but Corey's got the nuts.
200.
And a min raise here. Now, how does Corey finagle it? It looks like Mike is fairly deep. He's got about 1,000 left. He's made it 200. I think you make it maybe 300 or 400 more. You don't try to scare him away. Well, he's made it 500. He's made it 500 to go, and it's 300 more. I like that raise size. I really like that raise size because, maybe 300 or 400, because if this guy calls here, you really want to maximize how much can you get in the pot there. And he's moving in. Mike is moving in with ace-jack, and Corey's got the nuts. How easy was that? He's going to check it one more time, and he's going to call. Unbelievable. He says, I think I call.
Call it.
Call.
You want to run it a couple of times?
And he thinks that maybe he has a set, the other guy. Corey asked him if you want to run it a couple of times. Guy said no. River's a 9 of diamonds. Corey can actually lose to King Jack of diamonds, but the nut flush is good.
I got out last night.
750 more. The only thing I was going to say about Corey is, what you do there is you make a re-raise. You don't want to scare the guy out with the smaller flush or the Broadway straight, but you want him to call so that you can get all his money on the river. So however you want to finagle it, the rule of thumb that I use is that when the guy made it 200, the pot at that point was about, I want to say, 500. So if I call the 200, it's going to be a $700 pot. This is what's going through my head, and this is what should be going through your head. There's Tony TNT. The pot now is 700. He's got about 800 left. Or about 750 or 800 left. So how do I get the most amount of money there? If I just call, the pot's going to be 700. He's got 800 left. I might not necessarily be able to bet him all in for a call. But if I make it 300 or 400 more, he's only going to have about 700 or 800 left, and then I can move him in on the river. Pretty nicely played there by Corey.
How about red and logo?
Yes.
How about did you buy 10,000? Oh, you get
Looks like this one was limped around here. Allen is just limped in late position with kings. That's not raised. He'll often do that from up front, but he's one off the cutoff. Just a limp. Not going to see a raise.
I didn't order yet. That's the problem.
Four-way action there. Well, Corey's hit top pair. Looks like he checked it. And Allen's going to bet here with the overpair, and you wonder how involved Corey's going to get here. Is Corey going to check raise with Queen Jack or just a call against Allen? You wonder, how is he going to play this? Queen Jack, he's just going to lay it down. He shows Mo. He's not even going to get involved. Obviously, when Allen bets, he usually has the goods. The only thing that Queen Jack can beat there is, say, if Allen's betting with Queen 10 or Queen 9. Now, Mattisau, if anyone wants to write what I say down quickly, too, because I'm not exactly sure when we'll get it up in the notes. Mattisau was at the end of day number 1. Right at the end of the stream, day number 1. Vanessa Russo was at the end of day 5. Miami John Cernudo was at the beginning of day 5. I want to say that Barry Greenstein was also in the middle of day 5.
You want drink?
Four-way action here, ace 3-9 with a couple of hearts. Steve with the ace jack here has got the best hand. He's played squeaky tight all night.
We need a porter here.
40.
And Steve is checked, and Amir is bet
80.
with middle pair, and Steve is going to check raise. Just a mini check raise, and Amir makes a quick call.
Coffee? 3 and 3 on the coffee? No, not.
Turn is an 8.
Do me a favor.
Small ones.
I need red paper.
40.
Steve is going to come out and bet again. He's just going to bet 40 again here.
You say 40.
And Amir is going to call again.
What can it be? You say 40.
Now, you wonder if Amir is going to get into trouble here if a jack comes.
He's drawing.
Is Amir going to try to represent a heart here if he hits it on the river? Well, the river's an ace, and Steve's got trips. And that might make Amir maybe even stick around a little more.
80.
Well, he's going to bet 80 now, and I'd be surprised if Amir folds here. He's come this way. It's not that big of a bet here on the river, maybe a fourth of the size of the pot. Steve is going to take it down there with 3 aces. Again, everyone listening to me now is an archived subscriber, and I know that we had trouble with when I checked the archives for the expo at the beginning of the show, but I got assurance from some of my tech people that they are on now. You can check them all out. Again, you want to check out that charity tournament. We did 2 tables worth on, I want to say it was Tuesday. Pocket Kings over here for Mo in seat number 2. Excuse me, this is Monday. Anytime I said Tuesday, I meant Monday, because the last day was Monday. Pocket 10s here for Amir. And Amir just limped with 10s. Mo is going to raise. You wonder if Amir thinks he's going to pull the limp re-raise here with 10s. Corey's got 3s. I never understand why you would lay that hand down. Those are the hands that you make the most money with. Especially against Mo, again, who does not necessarily have a history of making big laydowns. And Amir's just going to call. We are heads up here, kings against 10s. Is he going to get involved here? Well, Queen, Jack, 9. He's open-ended. Mo's got the overpair. Got a $300 bet here by Mo. Mir's got to know that he only has a draw here, and he makes the call. And this pot is $800 to the turn. Well, the turn is at 10, and Mo makes a straight. 3 hearts out there, and Amir makes a set. And Mo's trying to think here, well, does this guy chase me with hearts? Mo's got the king of hearts in his hand. He's got an open-ended straight and royal flush draw. This hand could be interesting. Amir turns a set, but Mo has a straight, and Mo's trying to figure out if he's going to bet here. It's an $800 pot. And Mo is going to bet. He's going to bet 500 here. Now, if Amir was deeper, might he be able to play like a check raise here and represent a flush? He's going to check call, and this is an $1,800 pot. Amir needs some help. He needs the board to pair here, or a king to chop it. And the river's a jack, and Amir has a full house, and I assume he's going to push in here. $1,800 pot. He bets 500. It's a $2,300 pot. And this is twice here that Mo has lost with some pretty big hands. 2,300, 500 to call, and it looks like Mo thinks he almost knows that he's beat right now. He's getting over 4-1 here. Everybody saw what the action was. Remember, check, call, and I can't imagine he's not going to call here. I would really be shocked if he folds his hand. He is getting about 4.5 to 1 here. There isn't a whole lot, though, that he can beat if you look at it. Once again,
my friend.
He is in a little bit of a river quandary. And he is going to make the call here. And Amir's going to take it down there with the full house. And that's going to be about a $3,000 pot there for Amir. And Mo is not pleased once again. I got to tell you, over the last 2 days of playing, or say 2 days ago and today, I have had some horrifically bad, I mean, I can see where Mo's coming from. I've had about $6,000 in river swings, which is a pretty big deal. If you think about it.
Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah.
It looks like Giorgio, the Greek poker god, coming into the game. An old Live at the Bike favorite.
Anita.
I have chips behind this time. I don't know, 5 or 10.
And I did just see, I was looking in the archives, and it looks like I clicked on the last archive date, I believe it was Sunday, and that show opened with an interview of Dutch Boyd. So check it out. Ace 10 of diamonds here for Allen.
5 points.
5-way action. 9-4-5 here on the flop. It's like Mo's hit top pair.
What's up, they check? No, Mark.
And he's going to bet. He's going to bet 140. George is out of there. And it looks like Mo is going to take it down here with the Queen 9. And he does. So yeah, again, if you look at the calendar, we have posted up Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Now, it was actually Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Again, I think we're going to get that changed. If you click on the 29th on the calendar, the show opens with an interview with Dutch Boyd. And it was one of the more interesting interviews that I've ever done. Now, if you want to go and click on the catalog, you can basically look at all of the Gaming Expo. If you click on July of 2006, it's split up into about 9 different files. And the dates do not necessarily incorporate what that date actually was, again, because we went until Monday. So I want to find the Barry Greenstein episode for everybody. It's got to be one of the more interesting ones, for sure. Limped around here to a mirror. He's got ace-queen.
40 more.
And he's going to make it 40 more to go here. Allen is going to call.
3 points.
George also calls.
What happened, crossroad? Another one?
Jack 7-5 here. On the flop.
150.
And George is going to come out and bet 150 here with top pair, and that's going to do it. So again, I'm scrolling through here too. If you go into the very last again, go into the archives, go into the catalog, go into the very last file, file 9. The one table little charity tournament that we held was about, I want to say, an hour and 35 minutes or so into that file. Immediately before that, you can see me play a heads-up match against Dave Tuckman, which was quite fun too. And there was action the entire time streaming from the convention, kind of behind-the-scenes stuff. Great views of Kelly Marie, Sonny Leone, Avina Lee, and Felicity Lang. And Ronnie practicing his dealing, which was also fun. No, he did a great job. Mo is going to raise it up here. 8-7 of hearts. Pocket jacks here for seat 5. Let's see what Garland's going to do. Is he going to re-raise here? It's kind of definitely a smallish raise in this game, and he is going to re-raise.
117.
Garland is definitely pretty, he watches the archives. He's aware that Mo has the tendency to make these little stop raises with small pocket pairs and suited connectors, and this definitely smells like one. I mean, would Mo really raise in that position to 50 with aces? I don't buy it. I like the re-raise by Garland. And Mo is saying, how much do you have left?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1100.
Garland's counting it out. Again, I have the... Well, Mo's going to fold. See, I have the luxury of seeing the cards, but I got to tell you, Mo comes back over the top there. It puts Garland in a tough spot, but again, I just don't buy it from Mo. He really does that stop raise a lot. So again, the players that were in that invitational, seat number 1, Joe Seabach. Seat 2 was Bobo, Gavin Smith's friend. Seat 3 was Pokerho. Seat 4 was Liz Liu. Seat 5 was the great penthouse pet Sonny Leone. Gavin Smith was in seat 6. John Vorhaus in seat number 7. Seat number 8 was, I think, the editor of Poker Pro magazine, or American Player. And seat 9, the great Will Wheaton. Now here we go. Here's another example here. Mo has raised it to 50. Let's all speculate what type of hand he might have here, because it is kind of a stoppish raise. And he's got pocket 3s. Now, Mike M's got queens over there in seat 1. Allen's going to come in there in seat 9. We need to see his cards.
Take the butt right now, you know.
Have patience. I can wait.
Oh, Allen's called with 10-4 offsuit, and it looks like Mike M is going to re-raise here. Again, this isn't a mandatory re-raise on the blind, but I have to put Mo on a pocket pair or a suited connector here with that stop raise. Everybody else is just called. I almost 100% think I have the best hand, and he does re-raise, and I like the play.
Everybody comes in, everybody now you get out, huh?
Oh,
Who Jackson?
Really like the play.
Jack's no good?
Now it's over to George Georgia, and he's got ace-jack. It seems like George always thinks that sometimes people are trying to make a move on him. I mean, his hand is really garbage in a cash game. Ace-jack offsuit. He's going to lay it down. Amir is out of there. And Mike M takes it down there with pocket queens. Got a little over an hour left in the show. So it's fun to even watch, like I said, the live stream just to kind of see what kind of goes beyond the whole thing. It was 8 hours a day. A lot of play went on. Again, I'm still trying to do a little thing where I can find Barry Greenstein's interview, but I promise. Ah, there it is. So if you go into July 29th, I want to say file number 8 at about the 5:45 mark. There's Barry Greenstein's interview. And immediately before that, Gavin Smith was playing a little heads up with a porn star. So a little bit after 5:45, Barry Greenstein comes in. So you check that out. It was a very interesting and good interview. Anytime Barry talks, it's well worth watching.
raise. Make it 60 total.
We get a raise here out of the small blind by Mike M. He's got King Jack offsuit. He's going to make it 60 to go. Mo calls with King Queen, and Eamon's in there with pocket eights. Well, Ace 3-10 here, all clubs. Eamon's the only one with a club. And it gets checked around here. Eamon's still way out in front here with eights with the 8 of clubs. Turn is a club, and Eamon has a flush. But you wonder if someone's going to try to take a stab at it. Now, Mo is going to bet. He's going to bet 130 here. And Eamon looks like he's going to fold the 8 of clubs. And that's probably going to get it done, and it does.
I'm going to ask you for an update.
You got it.
Ronnie, our good friend Ronnie McMillan, the card boy of Live Bike, saying that what Sonny Leone is in the September issue of Penthouse? Yeah. Like I said, I went home and did a little research on our friend Avina Lee. Yeah, she was doing some crazy ass gestures the whole time. Crazy girl, man. Very crazy. Oh, I did an interview with Susie Isaacs, I'm seeing right now as well. Everybody can check out episode 7 on the archives, right around the 37-minute mark. Take a look at an interview with me and Avina Lee. Now, Alan is going to raise it up here with pocket queens. King Jack here for Amir. $200 more here for Amir to call. Really a garbage hand here out of position. He folds it. And Alan's going to take it down there with pocket queens. And we are going to take a look at another chip count. Here it is. $28,000 on the table. This game it's not playing as big as sometimes that we see the 10-20 games play, but a lot of money on the table here. Corey leading the way with $7,200. Let's take a look at the differences. Now, Mo's got $6,000, but he's way down. He's down $2,000 for the night. Alan, he's lost about half his stack, up about $2,000. We did some crazy stuff in Vegas. I remember I ended up sleeping in the same room with Ray, our cameraman, at the Venetian one night. I don't really even remember how we got there. It was craps, blackjack, the night after the Bodog party at Tao, right? Tao in the Venetian, or is that in Caesars? Yeah. Full Tilt put on a really cool party at Pure at Caesars, and Party Poker had a really nice party at Voodoo Lounge too, where the great Brittany, who was it? That played the concert, sang the concert. Brianna. 7-7-6 here with a couple of diamonds. A little bit of a pre-flop raise. I believe it was by George Giorgio, the Greek poker god, from mid-position. He's going to check. Everybody has missed this flop. Now, as you can see, it's listing that Mike M is in the lead here. He's not. It's just because George and Alan have the same hand, they cannot win it outright. Well, now Mike M takes a big lead. He's made a pair of fours on the turn. George checks. Alan checks. Wow, and Mike M is going to give everybody a free card. He does not bet. And the river's a 3.
I got a 4.
And the 4 is good. Mike M is going to win the hand.
Pair 4. And 7 with an ace. Winner.
It's so funny sometimes to see George Giorgio interact with players that he doesn't necessarily know, like we're going to see come through here in the month. He was basically giving it to a guy when I came in here around 3:30 today, telling him that he could explain how badly he played the hand, but he wouldn't understand it. I think is what he said to the guy. He's like, man, I can't do an English accent, but he's like, I'd tell you, but you wouldn't understand. Yeah, one thing I was disappointed by was that Phil Hellmuth was actually signing autographs in the booth next door to us at UB, and we were going to get him on the show, but we just didn't. That's the one interview I've really always wanted to get, him and Phil Ivey, that we haven't really been able to get on, and I hope that we can get him on here sometime in the next month. 4-way action here. Looks like it's limped around. 10-7 deuce, all diamonds here. Pocket 9s for seat 6. Eamon did not raise it out of the blind. And Mo's going to bet with middle pair here. He's going to bet 140. How is Eamon going to play it here with 9s? He just makes a call here. He's way out in front. Wonder if Mo's going to take a card here on the turn. Turns a 3. And there it goes. It goes check, check. River is a 6, and it still might go check, check here.
9s.
And 9s are good.
Pair 9.
9s take it down there. Again, you can email me at liveatthebike.com. Questions, comments, suggestions, always appreciated. You can also follow a thread started on the internet by going to 2plus2.com, spelled out. Click on forums, televised poker. Official Live the Bike thread for August 3rd. And as we explained on the in the convention, Dave and I both did not play in the main event because we didn't think that our focus would have been there 100% during the convention and stuff. Although David did win a one-table satellite and sold his Lammers away.
No, it is 2-3 minutes now. We found out. Then yeah, we need him here. In here, we gotta give it 10 minutes fight. Not 20 minutes, not half an hour. I know, 7 minutes right from
raise. Make it 60 total.
We're gonna get a $60 raise here by Mike M with ace-6. And Garland's gonna call with pocket 4s, but look at Eamon. He's got kings. And let's see what he's gonna do there out of the small blind.
Re-raise. Make it 260 total.
He is going to re-raise. He's going to make it 260 here. He's going to raise it up 200.
200 more to call.
And this is probably an easy lay down here for Mike M and for Garland.
He will, but he doesn't know. Otherwise, he's going to call Anthony a couple of times. Anthony. For Anthony all the way across the facility.
Fold in a fold there, and Eamon shows the pocket kings. He takes it down.
Rabbit cam.
I was like, you got a big hand. You got a big hand.
Rabbit cam. I need a rabbit cam.
I never seen you raise him or re-raise him.
Thank you. How about just raise?
Got about a little over an hour left in the show. Again, I'm trying to take it easy here a little bit, save my voice so I can come back to full potential on Monday.
Wait, no.
I got to meet William Frick from Alabama at Kenna James's party. That was fun. You know, I was actually trying to contact Boston, and I didn't have his contact information. So if anyone has that, I remember he said that he was going to sign up to 2+2. Maybe I'll PM him, but as oftentimes someone new to 2+2 doesn't really check their PMs or understand quite what it is. Want to get Boston in here and get him some practice for maybe having like kind of a third full-time commentator in here when David and I both aren't here at the same time. Jack 7 deuce here. Turn is a king. Checked around the flop. Turn's a king. It looks like it's checked around on the turn here. River's an ace. It looks like now Allen has rivered the ace. And he's got to throw a little bet out here. I really don't know about that bet. I don't know if he can get called by any hand that doesn't beat him.
No, not me. Like, doesn't
Although he'll look like a genius here if Eamon calls. Eamon's not going to call here with the 7. And Allen is going to take it down there. You know, another interesting note from the World Series main event, Dr. Robert Burns, Dr. Beebe, was on the featured table in Day 1A. So we should look for him on ESPN coming up in the main event. I believe it was featured because it had Hashem on it.
raise, make it 60 total.
Mike M is going to make a raise here, seat number 1. He's going to make it 60 to go. Well, Allen's going to call with Queen 10, and here we go, heads up. King 6-6 here with a couple of diamonds. Check, check on the flop. Turns a 4. Boy, Mike M does not make a lot of continuation bets. Pretty much when he will just check when he misses. And now he's just going to bet 60. And Allen folds. You know, it's funny. I did suggest to David Tuckman that he donate his winnings to the Human Fund, but I don't think he got it.
Thank you.
Yeah, Brian Tushman. Butt moves over here to seat 8 to Amir. Got about an hour left in the show.
Make it 80 total.
And George is going to raise it up here to 80. He's got Jack 10 off suit. And he is going to take it down here. Game not necessarily playing all that big. We haven't seen a lot of crazy action so far. Glad to be back with everybody live. If you are watching this, you are a subscriber, and we thank you. Apologize for some of the problems that some people had over the last week with the archives, but it looks as if everything is going well now. Want to wish our good friend Jay Siegel luck with his new job, writing as a poker reporter here for Legends. Legends $200 no-limit tournament tonight drew 657 players. So hopefully throughout this entire month, we will be having games of at least 5-10 or higher on every single night. There's our friend Tracy. Not Tracy, Tiffany. Let's get them two mixed up. Because they look alike, right?
5-player.
5-way action. Well, it's limped around, and Garland's got bottom set here. Let's see if anyone else has anything big to continue on.
Betting 40.
6-5 deuce here. Well, seed number one's going to bet out with ace-6 here. You'd imagine that Garland's going to raise.
Raise.
And he does. He's going to make it 160 totally, makes it 120 more. This is probably a relatively easy lay down here for George and Amir. So you wonder if Mike M is going to continue on. Mike M has played it pretty tight all night long. George is out. Amir is out. Is Mike M even going to get involved here? And he made the call. I am really surprised. See if he can use something to scare Garland off. Here we go to the turn. Whoa. Well, I jumped the gun there. Now he's going to call. I thought he had said call verbally, hadn't put the chips in. So let's see if he can use maybe some sort of scary card here. Oh, what an awful card for Garland. And it goes check, check. 4 diamonds on the turn. And the river is a queen. And it just gets checked down there. Oh, man. Talk about an unbelievably awful card there. And Mike M picked up the nut diamond draw there on the turn. And that is about as scary as it gets with a set of deuces.
I couldn't put you on this card. Can you make a straight?
But Garland did save himself there with the raise.
I'm not checking the flag.
Button moves over here to seat number 1.
I can't really see having 3-4.
Pocket aces over there in seat 8. It's Amir. Ace Queen of Hearts for Steve. Steve has not been playing in many hands at all. Steve is just going to limp. Limp in here by Eamon with Queen 9 of spades.
Raise, make it 80 total.
And Amir's going to make it 80. Again, kind of really a smallish raise in this game.
Oh, it's your blind. Good, I haven't had some of your money in a long time.
And Mike M is going to call, and you know, it's a nice hand there he has on the button. He's now deep stacked, and Amir really has brought him in here with kind of a smallish pre-flop raise. He has position. Only problem for him is that his spades are dead over there with Eamon in the hand. Amir also has the ace of spades. 3-way action here. 9, 8, 10, all diamonds. Amir with the ace of diamonds. Much better flop. You know, if Amir had 2 black aces there, it would be an awful flop. Amir's going to bet 240 here. Mike M quickly releases, and I don't think Eamon can continue on here with Queen 9. He's got a gut shot, but he has no diamond with middle pair. He folds. And Amir takes a down turn. Would have been a 3 of diamonds. Amir would have made that nut flush. Take a look at our $10 chips there. Button moves over here to Mo in C2. You can become our MySpace friend. Go to myspace.com/live@the-bike. Become our friend. By the way, I'm going to put this to rest. I didn't get my $5,000 back. There's no way in hell I'm ever getting him back. I spoke to people even higher, so I'm just going to put it to rest. I'm not necessarily saying that I should get it back, but it just seems like they would treat some people the same. Pocket tens raises here. Amir's going to call with a suited ace-8 from up front. King 9-6 with a couple of diamonds.
Betting 120.
$120 bet here by Mike M. He's only looking at one overcard, and is Amir just gonna, Amir loves to move sometimes. He doesn't believe necessarily that the guy has a king. He's gonna check raise. And Mike M is gonna show pocket tens and fold them. Again, I don't really know. I still think that that's a very negative EV play in a cash game, but he did it a heads up. He took one shot at it. Button moves over here.
Why are you causing trouble, huh? Why? Why do you cause trouble? Who raised? No one raised. He's just trying to entice someone to raise. He's trying to entice you.
Limped around here. Mike M has limped in with pocket sevens mid position.
Option. Not in my big line, okay? Please?
Five-way action here. It's a $100 pot. Oh, ace deuce 7 here. Now Garland's got top pair. Mike M with the set.
Betting 60.
And Garland is going to check. Mike M is going to bet right away here with the set. Corey's got, he's got a gut shot. He's got a gut shot wheel draw, and he calls. That's all he has right now. Garland is also going to call. And Mike M is way out in front here. Pot is now $280. Will Garland get into trouble if he catches a 9 or an ace here? Well, it turns a king. I gotta tell you, if you're Garland here, even if Corey called in between, I probably wouldn't have overcalled. Now this guy bets again. I think I get out of there. He's bet $250 now. You don't want to lose that much with ace 9. Yeah, I could fold there by Garland.
Anything's good now, right?
Mike M is going to take it down.
All in there.
Remember, Mike M has really not played aggressive at all. Whenever he has really put money in the pot, he has had it. He's done well for himself because he was almost down about $1,500 for the night. He's made it back a little bit.
What kicker? I know it's there. Just had to test you out.
Button moves over here to seat number 4. Take a look at an interesting little card protector there. Is that Garland? Oh, that's Mike's.
Obviously, he would have been calling. At least call.
Can I guess which 7th dwarf it is from the back? Sleepy? Snoozy?
You had him already the first hand of the show. You raised him.
Yeah, it's Sleazy from Adult Pokemon. PokerParty.net. Lived around her 3 ways. Here we go to the flop. 7-4-3 here with a couple clubs. Looks like 7-8 of spades here out in front. George Giorgio is going to put out a bet.
Food is everywhere. All top section.
Betting 60.
$60 bet here. Now Garland has a straight draw to the nuts, gut shot to the 5, 2 flush board. He's not going to chase it. And Eamon's got bottom pair. Yeah, George's going to take it down. Well, George being in the game means that he was busted out of the tournament. The tournament was kind of a smallish crapshoot. I mean, half an hour levels. It was just a $200 buy-in. But we're going to be doing this all night, all month long. Got an email here from Tightrope. He says, "Hey Bart, nice to have you back live. Have you heard any more about the final table being on pay-per-view? If so, do you have any details?" I can't find anything about it. And that's actually Marcos. It's interesting. I'm not sure either, and I'm interested to know if they're going to do live commentary and who's going to do it. That's the most interesting part for me, because I mean they did it on, and they streamed it live last year. I assume it's going to be on Poker on Sirius this year as well. But you wonder with if they're going to do it via TV, how they're going to do it. Getting word that it's going to be on DirecTV, channel 121, Ronnie McMillan says. King 6 of diamonds here for seat 5. We can't see what George has in seat 7. Well, top pair there. Garland made a little bit of a raise on the button.
Betting 80.
Now George is going to bet 80.
Make it 200 total.
Actually, Garland bets 80. George raises, and we don't know what George has. He's being a bit of a dick. He says he's not going to show, and we'll kick him off the table if he continues to do that. He's got ace-9 of hearts here. And he has just check-raised Garland. And I got to tell you, if you're Garland, do you really even want to get involved? Well, he's going to call and maybe see what George does. Now, the one thing about George is sometimes he'll put a move on you, but can he continue to fire? Garland calls, turns a jack. Garland now has a flush draw. I don't think he's going anywhere now. And now George checks. And Garland quickly takes a card. Don't mind the play there by Garland at all. And the river's a diamond, and Garland has a flush. George now checks, and Garland is going to bet. He bets 300. And all George has is ace high here. And he's going to take it down. Garland is going to take it down there. And again, sometimes you see George do that. He will make a move one time, but then he's not going to lose a lot on the rest. But you can almost sometimes think you can just call him and see what he does. Because oftentimes in position he will, or when he's out of position, he will shut down. Post here by Sabaka95. He says it's good to see that Gil is hanging in there in the main event. That is cool. I didn't notice that. He's got 71,000 in chips. Gil has been on the show many times. He really tears up the lower tournament circuit, like $500 buy-ins and less. He's still in there after day 2. Now, I think maybe 2 or 3 levels into day 2, they're going to be in the money in day 3. It's pretty close right now. They got about 1,400 people left. Something like 850 people make the money or something like that.
My player.
5-way action here. 8-8-7 here on the flop. Checked around. Turn is a 6. Looks like Mo's got the best hand here with pocket 3 still. Checked around once again. And the river's a deuce. Mo is going to take it down if no one puts any more money in here. Send it. See, I bet you he says send it. Nuts.
2 pair is good? 2 pair is good? No, it is good. Oh, you're after me, yeah.
Pair 3 is an 8.
2 pairs good? 2 pairs good? Butt moves over here to George Giorgio in seat number 7.
Service, live at the bike, service.
If I didn't beat you on the flop, I had you on the river, okay? I'll tell you that much.
Also have word that Walt is also in the main event, another kind of semi-regular live at the bike player. Got a seat through Bodog. So those are 2 people that I know of that play on this show that are still in the main event. Anybody else know of anyone can email me. Fill me in. I'm not sure about Yosh. I know Ted Forrest is still in the event. Ace 10-7 here with a couple of spades. Limped around. Allen's got the best hand here with Ace 5. It looked like he checked it from up front. George is going to bet with a gut shot here. And let's see what Allen's going to do. He's going to call.
Heads up.
Here we go to the turn. And look at this. George hits the gut shot. Makes kind of a semi-bluff on the flop, and he hits it on the turn. And he bets 200 now. Gotta tell you, not a bad play here by George to continue to bet. And Allen's gonna fold. We are going to take a little bit of a 3-minute break so I can go excuse myself. So here we go to table talk for a little bit, get some water. So we'll be back here in about 3 minutes.
Raise, make it 80 total.
Hot potatoes.
Heads up. Betting 120. Betting 200. Ace. Ace with Jack. Thank you. Big blind, please. Option. 100 more to call.
One more call, I'm gonna call.
Oh, yeah.
One more call. That's it.
I should have raised 200.
That's it. Amen. Amen. Amen.
I should have made it 200 more. I made a mistake.
5-player.
Multi-way action here. Queen 3-3 on the flop. A couple of hearts. Now I saw a raise. I imagine it was from Allen.
Betting 500.
With ace queen on the button, and he's going to bet 500 here. He's got the best hand here by far.
Allen shows a bluff.
6-3.
One time.
And he's going to take it down.
6-3.
Ah, no, bluff.
Queen is not good.
That's to kick him out as a knockout.
Exactly. That's just because I'm not going to queen.
Of course, because the kicker plays big on that position. Go to 3, and you want to have the ace kicker.
But I had you before the small battle.
Yes, sir. You've got the 3 guys.
So it looks like some people have looked through those things that I recommended from the
If you bet 200, I would make more money.
I should have made it 200.
from the archives.
I would have told you that.
Again, if someone's looking for the Barry Greenstein interview, I noted that I believe it was in the second to last file. I can't remember the time, but if someone can write that up on the 2+2 thread, that'd be great. We're going to take a look at the chip count here. And David and I played in a heads-up match right before the tournament charity event, I believe. Or was it before the Barry Greenstein interview? 28,600 here on the table. Corey's got 7,100. Mo's got 6,000. Let's take a look at the differences. Alan's still the leader here, up 24. Corey's up 16. Mo down $2,000. Mike W. is going to raise it up here with ace-10. George Giorgio is in there with 10-4 suited. He makes the call. Well, ace-10-4. Uh-oh, 2-pair against 2-pair. All hearts on board. Might that slow some of the action down? Mike W. is going to bet.
Betting 100.
He's going to bet 100. Again, though, with ace-10 and George shows a lot of strength, you put him maybe on a flop flush, he's going to check raise.
400 total, 300.
Going to make it 300 more to go. If you have ace-10 here, would you ever just call and wait for a safe turn card? Would George might be doing this with an ace with a high heart?
No, without that.
Not that bad.
Although it doesn't look like George has that much left. Maybe we can get a shot of his chip stack over there.
Oh, this is Puerto Rico versus United States. Oh, this is Dream Team.
It's 300 more here from Mike M. Well, I think George's got a $500 brown chip under those whites, so he might have about maybe 1,000 left. I wouldn't be at all surprised if all the money goes in, but Mike M just makes a quick call. The turn is a jack, relatively safe card for both players. And now George is going to bet 900. He's got 450 left. And I got to tell you, if I was Mike W. here, I'd make my decision. If I had made this decision on the flop, how does the turn change anything? And he folds top 2-pair. I assume he thought he had a flush. Look at George. George shows a black card. He shows a 4. Probably think that he might have a set. And the river was a jack, which is a horrifically bad card for both players, and a 4th heart. You talk about an absolute action killer on the river. The jack of hearts comes, counterfeits both players 2-pair, and brings a 4 flush on the board.
Is there a 4 on the flop? I don't even know.
There was a 4 coming.
Like it's 4 you had, George. Don't torture us, huh? 10-4. Come on, we're gonna go home. We're gonna go home and we can't check you, right?
I saw the 3 hearts act on some there.
So you better tell the truth right now.
Ace-queen suited here from Mike M. Seat number 1.
$14. Watch it on TV.
Raise, make it 80 total.
Going to raise it up here to $80.
On this next week, you come here, he comes here.
Oh, I'm going to look at the man. I use this like Mo. And then I go there and I play this one. Are you kidding me? Man, whatever I see here, that ain't happening at the
Oh, nobody calls?
You're going to use this as a tool, right?
And Alan is not going to get involved here with Queen 9. Got an email here from Rick, the sleeping giant in Dallas. He said, Yosh sent an email to the Poker Blue members that he busted out the first day, so Yosh is still not in there. I can tell you one of the most disappointing things, and I don't know if it's up now, but last night when I looked at it, Card Player didn't have a list of the people that were still in. They only had featured players. I got that from either Poker Wire or Poker Pages. It was... I mean, the Card Player coverage of that event has been lacking. It really has been. I mean, is it just me or somebody to agree with me out there? I mean, it's just been really bad. And you would have thought that it would be better with Full Tilt being like a sponsor. But they seem to only be concerned with following Full Tilt people.
34 years ago.
Ramirez lived in with Jack 9. I'm in there with King Queen, small blind with pocket 4s. Wow, look at this, Jack 9-6. Ramirez got top 2. Now, Eamon has got overcards and a gut shot, and Amir he plays it cagey. Turns an ace. Now he checks. And Eamon is going to call. Eamon has got a gut shot here to the 10, and the river is a king. And now Amir bets 200 here. It's a very peculiar river bet. You know, would Amir really bet anything less than 2 pair here? I would almost put him on aces up the way the hand went down. Would Amir really bet ace-10 there? Again, that's what we always talk about, how it's really sometimes easy to define somebody's hand by their river bet.
Take it away from me. Yeah, it's hard. It's my beer.
Oh, look at this. Special surprise guest. Jay Siegel, the Pajato. Jay, what is the deal with the pay-per-view of the final table?
ESPN is going to do the final table coverage live on pay-per-view. It's $25. And I think anyone who has digital cable through DirecTV, Cox, any of those can sign up for it. And it says it starts at 5 Eastern, which is going to be 8 o'clock p.m. here, and it's going to go for a long time. So they'll go through the night, I believe.
He checked one time.
Amir's got an open pair here, 7-4 reduced a couple diamonds, was limped around. Somebody bet 100 here, and I missed who it was. I guess it was Corey. Corey just made a little bluff bet out of it, and Amir's not even going to get involved. And that's because he didn't have 8s, he had 8-9 from what Ronnie put up there. And that makes a lot more sense, actually. So my question was, who is doing the live commentating?
You know, I don't know. They don't have any information out there of what the format is, other than they're not going to have whole card information.
No, of course not. They can't.
Right.
Not to protect. I mean, they were talking millions of dollars to protect the integrity of it. So you are covering Legends, the whole shebang, right?
Yep, I'm doing the final table write-ups, which Max Shapiro had done last year, and then interviewing the winner, and they're going to publish that on the website, and they also have a brochure that they put out there every day during the Legends.
New dealer coming into the box here. Again, we're playing 10-20 no limit hold'em. Bart Hansen here. I'm with Jay Siegel filling us in a little information. It's the lovely Tiffany there. I just always wonder, like I said, I mean, I've heard some of the commentating on Sirius on Bluff Poker Radio, but on TV I wonder if it's going to be the same type of crew. Well, you'd wonder they'd go for some experienced commentators with live poker experience, like hundreds of hours of live poker.
Really, I don't know, but
I haven't been contacted though.
Got to get a better agent.
King Queen suited here for Garland, having a pretty good night. Gonna raise it up.
Raise, make it 90.
Gonna make it 90 to go here. Now, Mike M. limped in here with 7-9 of diamonds. I would really be surprised if he makes this call here heads up against Garland out of position, but he does. And again, that's a very speculative call, heads up against a player like Garland out of position. Here we go to the flop. 4-3-3, couple clubs, awful flop for both players. Garland can probably make this nice little continuation bet here. He does. And as oftentimes will players miss, the player with the betting lead takes it down.
I was watching this game earlier from home. But it was the sound was out at the
first
beginning
15
of the
minutes of the show. Now you were one of the, I guess one of the few people that actually watched you didn't have that many problems watching the Vegas thing, right? I mean, there were a couple times when it went out live. I'm talking about live,
it
right?
Didn't go out. Yeah, it didn't go out live at all for me. I just watched the last couple of days because I was out there when you guys were out there for a good chunk of it. But yeah, it didn't go out at all. And actually, I watched it. It was pretty interesting.
Pretty interesting behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah, behind the scenes and just everything that you guys had going on. Gavin Smith was hilarious.
Oh, yeah, everyone's got to watch that celebrity tournament. Like I said, all we did was just make fun of John Morehouse the whole time.
Yeah. Gavin says something. Oh, we got pocket queens here,
Yeah,
Steve.
and Steve, he's just gonna limp in. He's played it so passively. Ace king of clubs here for Alan. You wonder if Alan is gonna raise it up here out of the big blind, and he is.
From my buddy, he's watching. That's what
And you wonder what Steve is gonna do.
Raise, make it 9.
Is Steve gonna pull a limp re-raise here, or is he just gonna call?
I would imagine that, Steve, the only reason you do the limp is to pull off the limp re-raise at that point.
He's all in.
Yeah, there it is. Comes in. I'm going to tell you something about what's going on at the table as well. Something rather disgusting.
Soft playing going?
No, I'll tell you in a second. He's going to move all in here for $800. George Giorgio just threw the phone over to Mike W. because somebody teabagged him. But no one knows what that means. Teabagged him on their phone. Texted a pretty obscene picture, if anyone knows what a teabag is. And he gets a great kick out of it. Alan makes the fold. It's a good lay down there. Hob likes to teabag George.
Don't worry, man. That was me.
Actually, Alan hasn't folded yet. I thought Alan got rid of this, but he's still thinking about it. It's about 900. It's a classic race situation here. Let's see if Alan's feeling lucky. He's had a very good night here so far. 960 total for him to call.
I think he's calling.
See, now this is where in a tournament you would have been shoving those chips in as fast as you guys had all
absolutely.
In. And now in a cash game, you have to take a peek.
If it weren't 3 hearts, it'd probably be safe. 3 hearts safe.
Well, I mean, if Alan calls, he's about a 56-44 dog. He's going to make the call. With what the pot laid him, it was pretty close. Well, it's like with the fundamental theory of poker.
Right.
Do you know what the guy has? What would you do? Here we go. Race.
I don't know if you got ace king.
Steve's pretty good here. Alan needs an ace or a king or a running Broadway straight. He can catch a queen, an ace, or a king here, but it does not come.
I didn't ask.
Jacks or 10 for sure, right? One pair only. Ace jack? Jack's good.
Queens. That is good. And you wonder, after you look at that board, I always say, queens are absolute garbage after that board. The flop has a jack, the turn has a 10. The only thing that queens can really beat there is ace king or ace queen, and pocket 9s, maybe. That's about it. I mean, if you're looking and you have queens and the flop contains a jack or a 10, oh, look at that, the lovely Nicole. She does a lot for George, like these little favors. We're going to have sandwiches. There she goes.
Yeah, I saw she's sitting in a game. She's sitting in a game.
There's Hollywood Tony Caden right there in the hat. That means that he's been knocked out of the tournament as well.
Yeah, I was just over by the tournament.
Mr. Bubble Boy Jay, that guy.
Yeah.
He wants me to get my.
That's a painful spot.
There he is.
I mean, I don't know how.
Looks like he's playing. Looks like he's gone over from the tournament and played another painful game, stud high low, 20-40 stud high low. Right? Yep, there it is. Up cards. Looks like he's got an ace though on third, right there, right away.
We'll commentate on that game.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
And he's going to raise it up to 20. What did you expect?
It was the way I played it too.
Well, back to our game.
Crazy, stupid.
Ronnie, you can get the rest of his cards later.
Mo is going to make, again, what is his little stop raise to 50 with the queen 10 of spades. Amir is called with ace jack. Allen's in there with king 8. 9-5-5 here with a couple of diamonds. And everyone's going to check it. Turns at 3. Ace high is still good here for Amir. He's on the button. I got to tell you, I don't really buy this. I think either Mo has pocket 9s here, or he has absolutely nothing. But everyone's just going to let him take it.
Yeah, it's cool when you see a bluff.
That's right.
Although the river was queen, and he made the best hand at the end there. So did you get to see that hand with the pocket 8s when Allen River the ace is full there, ace jack?
Yes, I did see.
What did you think about that?
Yeah, I was really surprised that Mo laid it down, right?
No, he called.
He did call?
Yeah, he did call.
But I will chase you.
Oh, I didn't see that one then.
Yeah.
I would maybe yeah, that's the one. He did call.
Yeah, he did call.
1900. Oh,
I thought he made a raise to kind of get a value call off of a hand that he wins, but then fold to a re-raise. But he did not fold.
Yeah, I just make up the results as I like to see them. I thought I did, but I was playing online at the same time.
You know, Ronnie told me in the middle of the Vegas thing that you called him and said that we were ragging on him for dealing.
Yeah, you said something, and who was in the booth with you? You said something.
I said something. Gavin said that guy's doing a really good job for never dealing before.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think you started to say something, and Gavin cut you off and said something nice. Gavin was killing me. Yeah, Gavin actually, he was watching the Ultimate Bet guys, Mark, Pokerho, and Vorhaus, and he said that Ultimate Bet's new slogan was, where our pros are so bad that you can come to our site and take all their money.
Yeah.
Which I play on Ultimate Bet, and they don't. I mean, they're good there.
Really, compared to some of the other online sites.
Yeah, but it's just a numbers game. There's a lot of money to be had in online poker every single site.
I've actually heard that Ultimate Bet is kind of a little bit of a rockish site.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's been so long since I've played like online internet. I used to play no limit cash games almost to supplement myself when I was propping here.
Yeah.
But now that I just go full time and play cash games here, and I have no desire to play anymore. I play 30 hours a week, and that's fine. I mean, I make a shitload, make a good chunk of change, and I'm content,
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of shootouts and a lot of tournaments online.
Well, Corey's got pocket queens here. He's in the big blind. Although I get about a $5,000 in river swings the last 2 days, though, which are a killer.
That live is rigged.
Corey's going to make it 100 to go here.
Did you hit the sweet spot, Alan? 140?
Go get him, Alan.
Well, Alan's going to call here with King 9 suited. He's played it pretty well so far tonight.
Alan's Steve.
Corey's deep, and so is he. King 9, pretty speculative, though. Oh, he's outflop Corey. King Jack Deuce.
Every hand of shit over here. Jesus Christ.
Now, the thing for Corey, the reason why I love to play against Alan is so easy is that you can just check here. He's going to bet 200, but I think it's a mistake. Because you can just, now Alan raises to 4, and I think it's an easy fold. I was going to say, but Corey calls, you can just check, and if Alan bets you fold, if he doesn't have anything, he'll just check behind you.
Right. That's the predictability.
And now the turn's another king, and now is Corey not going to believe him even more? And Alan bets again.
Yeah.
He bets 600, and Corey has lost a lot. Is he going to continue to lose more and more in a hand that he should easily get away from when Alan is betting?
Yes, and right now he's talking himself out of
unbelievable.
Alan having
I'm shocked. He's committed $1,000 this hand already. It's a $2,000 pot, and the river's a 9, and Alan has top full house, and Alan pushes in. Alan's pushing in here. He thinks that Corey might have a king here. I mean, what else? I mean, are you serious? You think that Alan would fire 3 bluff bullets? Sometimes he bluffs the river when he missed a club draw.
Right, sometimes.
But this is obvious. I mean, I know we can see the cards, but we've watched Alan play for almost 2 years now.
Right, but I get, he's saying if Corey didn't believe me in the first 2 streets, then he's not going to believe me now.
I mean, this is a $2,000 bet. It's a $4,000 pot. $2,000 for Corey to call. I can't even believe that he's lost $1,000 in this hand.
Here's $1,000 right here.
I got to tell you, if I have queens there, it's a check fold to Alan's bet on the flop because Alan might not even bet a jack. That's how predictable he plays.
I'm silly. Hi, how are you? Good, how you doing?
I mean, sometimes people just fall in love with their overpairs. Alan has really made a gigantic overbet here on the river. I think what Corey's trying to think is, why would Alan bet so much here?
Right.
But I can tell you, if he gets a call, it's a great bet here by Alan. I have no problem with this overbet. I really don't. Because sometimes I think if you bet less, people are often more apt to fold when you bet less than when you overbet.
Ace King, how
sure.
And look at and that's what. And look at George. George is saying, Ace King, Corey, right? Tough spot. No, he doesn't have Ace King. He's got queens. That's what's shocking about it.
I had with him. I had the same situation.
Right. Well, I think his call on the turn was Corey's call on the turn was saying, "I don't believe you have a king," and so I think Alan's capitalizing on that right now and saying, "I'll go along with that story."
I got to tell you, the more and more I think about it, I love the bet here by Alan at the end because you would think that Corey has a king here, right? I mean, he called. If I'm Alan, I raise, which I will almost never do without at least top pair, and I bet the turn, and the guy's called on both straights.
Right.
I'm really shocked that he's taking this much time with it. I mean, he's played it kind of like Corey all night, which is kind of tight. I just, against certain players, it's such an easy laydown with queens here. I mean, when have we ever seen Alan bluff with 3 bullets? I've never seen it, ever. And Corey has played with him for just as long as he's been playing here for. I just thought he was going to get done with it when he raised the flop.
Sure.
Thought he was just going to
you got to throw away $200 when
yeah.
Min raised you on the flop, and now he's contemplating $2,000 more.
Yeah, $2,000 more for like a $3,000 total. He's just thinking, why is Alan betting so much? Again, I have never seen Alan raise with a draw. For him to min raise with a club draw on that flop, that would have been an unbelievable play. I would have said, wow, that's a new Alan.
Yeah.
He's never done it. That's why we always kind of say, if Alan started to do it, he'd be a much better player. I just don't know why Corey's taking so long with this. You'd almost think he had ace-king here. Or king-queen or something like that, right?
Right. Yeah, I think if he threw his cards over now, the whole table would be surprised.
Yeah. The other thing you always sometimes count on the fact that Alan will, a lot of times, he'll show his cards. Plus, Corey's on live with the bike, so he can always go back and watch it in the archives too.
Yeah.
If he's really.
Yeah, this should be a fun thing for him to watch.
Oh, he's not a subscriber? No. Look at Alan. You can look at the mannerisms of him. I'd actually like to keep the shot here on Alan because you can kind of look at how comfortable.
Yeah,
I'll see what Corey. I'll tell everybody what Corey does. But I mean, Corey, he spent like 5 minutes here at the end now. I just don't know. And he's trying to convince himself to call. I don't know what he is thinking. What is going through his head?
He's definitely thinks his queens were good.
Yeah, we actually are on a 5-minute delay, so we need to really put a clock on him. And he made the call, Jay.
Oh,
he made the call.
He
talked himself into him.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. I mean, I don't know if Corey thought he picked up a tell on Alan, but I got to say that was the easiest fold I thought on the raise flop that there is out there against a certain player.
Right. If he's frustrated, he should be frustrated with how long it took him to talk himself into making a bad call, I guess.
I mean, again, we are privy to the cards, but I got to tell you, I'm not going to.
But it's Alan. And Alan's
Corey comes up to me and says, "Well, you didn't see what I see." Hey, I know these guys hit games like the back of my hand. I mean, I've seen Alan play for a year and a half, and that's why I said I think it might even be a play where you check on the flop to see what Alan does, knowing that he's not going to bet without a king. So when he bets, you can just lay it down. Now, you might risk the chance of him possibly betting a jack and you laying the best hand down, but when you bet the flop and he raises you, oh, man. Queens go on the muck like in 2 seconds there. I'm really surprised. And what a great overbet there by Alan on the river.
Yeah.
Really confused Corey. He made a huge overbet and Corey thought he was full of it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Alan thought that Corey would, thought Alan was full of it for 3 streets.
I guess, but I've never seen Alan make a bluff 3 ways, 3 times.
Now, does Corey play with Alan frequently? Is Corey a regular?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Now, Mo has raised it up here. King 9, he's made it 300, some dead money in there. And Corey laid down pocket 7s, which is, again, not really that bad of a lay down out of position. And Mo shows the King 9.
You want a big pot? You want a big pot? I want a small pot.
Look at this. Barry Woods has come in and said, Jay, 5 o'clock Eastern is 2 p.m. LA time, not 8 p.m.
Oh, that's right.
Do you know that Barry Woods, the guy, I mean, I like the guy a lot. But sometimes, do you know that how he dressed up to play in the main event? He had a proctologist doctor jacket on with a stethoscope. It said proctologist. I mean, it's just... Alan is.
I played in a couple tournaments where it felt like I played with a proctologist.
And Garland is just playing his usual tight Tight game. He's up about $1,000 here. 5-way action. 4-way action here to the flop. Ace 8-9 here with a couple of spades. What a monster flop here for George. He's got top pair and the nut spade draw. But remember what we always say on the show, that hand is not necessarily as big as it looks, because Alan has him beat right now. And let's see if Alan is going to raise. George comes out and bets. He bets 60, and Alan's going to raise right away, which means he probably has a minimum of ace-king or ace-queen or 2-pair now.
Yeah, you look at the percentages now, it's 55-45.
And is George going to re-push here? Well, here's the issue. I don't think Alan's going to lay down 2-pair. There's a good chance he might have 2-pair here. I like a call here by George. I really do. Because there might not be a whole lot of fold equity if you're behind. Wow, the turn is a king, and now Alan has top 2, and now he's really not going anywhere. Like, for example, here, if George decides to check raise the turn, it would be a big mistake, because Alan's calling.
Right.
Alan's going to bet 220 now. And again, nothing wrong with just a check call here by George, and there it is. And you just hope that, it might go to a showdown here at the end. Well, the river's a king, and Alan's made another full house. And now I think it's an easy laydown if Alan bets here on the river. Now, the only thing, though, can you say, is there a possibility that Alan had 8-9 here and he got counterfeited? Now, I'm throwing that out there against good players. George makes kind of a frustration call, but I got to tell you that Alan would not bet 8-9 on the river. This is what we keep talking about, how you need to be familiar with your players.
You know he can't go anywhere, man.
There it is. So that's exactly what George said he was going to raise, but he knows he's not going to go anywhere, and that was the reason why sometimes it's rare that calling is the best thing to do. But I don't think that George misplayed that hand. You could hear him in the background saying, I would have raised any other player, but I think he played the hand well up until he made the call on the river.
Yeah.
I don't know if he was thinking there's a possibility that Alan has 8-9, but I just don't think he bets there with 8-9. Let's take a look at the chip count here. 29,000.
Even though you're probably an underdog at that.
Mo is 6,000. Alan's got 6,000. Let's take a look at the differences here. Now, I think Alan just added maybe another 700 or so to his stack. So Alan's up like $5,000 for the night. He's had a great night. Steve's got $1,000. Garland is up 800.
Did Alan have any big hand? Just that one full house?
Yeah, he's had a couple of big hands.
Yeah, and he's getting action all the way to the river, so.
Yeah, got about 15 minutes left in the table. And Corey's got 120 here. He's going to raise it up from the cutoff with an ace-king. George is going to call. We cannot see what George has, but yes, we can. He's got Queen 8 of clubs. Here's sometimes the thing with George is, he'll admit it, he does steam a little bit. Yeah. I mean, would he play Queen 8 of clubs against Corey's raise out of position normally if he hadn't lost that last hand? That's the question. Here we go to the flop. 6-4-4, total whiff for both players. Corey's got the betting lead, though, and he's going to make the continuation bet in position. Bets 140, and George instantly folds. So I was telling everybody to watch the Dutch Boy interview. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah, right? I heard you say that. I didn't see it. I do want to see it now.
Again, I'm hoping to get all that stuff cataloged at some point for everybody to watch.
ESPN did a 1-hour special on Stu Unger. They had some interviews with some top players and commentators, and that was real interesting.
Buttons here in seat 5 for Garland. Steve's got King 9 of diamonds. And he's actually the second biggest winner. He won that hand. Alan would have even been up more, $2,000 more, if he had won that race with queens against ace-king. And Steve is going to, for the first time, kind of make a pre-flop open raise here. Well, after one limper, he's going to make it 110 to go with King 9 of diamonds. And again, I'd be a little bit shocked that Corey would call here, but he is. Against the tightest player here on the table, out of position with 5-6 suited. And I don't know necessarily if Steve is all that deep. Well, here we go, heads up.
Steve's got the diamond draw.
Yep, Steve's got diamond draw with overs, and Corey's got a gut shot. $80 bet here by Steve. Is Corey going to make a check raise semi-luff? No, he's going to call. Obviously, the 6 of diamonds no good for Corey here. The turn's a 9. Let's see if Steve takes the card and it goes check, check. Excuse me, the turn is a 10, and the river here is a 4. And did Corey make the straight?
Yeah, Corey made the straight.
He made the straight and he checked it. Did he realize it? I mean, the guy checks the turn. You wonder if he knew. The guy checked the turn on a ragged board, and now the river's a total blank, and you expecting him to bet the river when you check to him? That's amazing. Corey had the nuts there at the end.
Yeah, I don't know. You get the nuts on the river, and
it's a strange one.
bet.
Very, very strange. I left my toiletry bag that has my Mach 3 razor in it at the hotel.
I use that razor.
in Dave Tuckman's room. So I'm either going to have to go buy a new one or not shave until Sunday. Or Monday, actually. I'm going to have to go buy a new one, actually. Maybe I'll just go with the Allen look.
Yeah, when you catch up to Allen, you let me know. I think what Allen can grow in a day, he can cover probably 3-4 weeks.
Now we got a $60 raise here by Mike W. Corey's going to make a little bit of a re-raise here with Ace Queen offsuit. Mike W. looks like he's open with pocket 7s here. Well, you know, Corey made it 90 more. And it looks like Mike W. or Mike M. there easily has about maybe 2,000 in front of him. He's going to make this call. Not a bad call here if you put Corey on a big overpair. Well, Jack 3-4. And now, you know, you might just play this as a check fold, even though you might be good. Because normally Corey isn't going to re-raise with something like Ace Queen or Ace King.
Right.
But he has definitely done some strange things here tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, the stranger things have come later in the hand, but yeah.
He's going to make a $200 continuation bet here. And this is sometimes when I talk about the toughest decision in No Limit Hold'em here. I mean, more often than not, I'm going to fold 7s here. I'm going to assume that guy has an overpair. And he does. Either that or I might just bet here on the flop. I might bet and see what Corey does. Because Corey knows my game, and he knows that I would bet a set out. So he might just not even want to get involved. Got about 10 minutes left in the show here. Button moves over here to George Giorgio. Pocket queens here for Mike M. And he's in the big blinds.
Yeah, I see an ace 10.
Yeah, ace 10 here for Corey. Looks like just a limp from up front. It's not a hand I really like to play out of position.
Right.
And once again, I assume that Mike M is going to make a raise here.
Right.
Raise 60 more.
Going to make it 60 more here.
I don't know if 60 is going to do it.
Yeah, that's kind of definitely a smallish raise. Now, looks like we're going to play George Georgian's hand blind over here. Queens against ace 10 against George Georgian's hand. We get about a $250 pot here. Well, 9-7 deuce. I assume Mike M is going to, probably throw at least a $200 bet in here. He does. Actually, $300. Let's see what George Giorgio is going to do. He's out of there. Mike M takes it down. So how long do you think this tournament's going to go until tonight?
Actually, I think it's going to be late. Although, right before I came in here, it was down to 7 tables. And
from what, like
from
700
657 players down to 7 times 9, roughly 60 players. But it slows down. The stacks start to get a little bigger.
Well, if you remember from a couple years ago, Legends before it never started until 7:15 and only 4:15 on the weekends.
Right.
Now they've started it at 4:15.
Yeah, and they're getting the numbers in here at 4:15, so I think they're going to continue. Most of the events are at 4:15.
Pocket Kings here for seat number 6. I gotta tell you, I'm gonna be disappointed if I don't play the main event of Legends, because I'm gonna have so many opportunities to get in through either a satellite. I mean, I'm gonna play in that promotion that the bike's doing with the hours.
Right,
I'm gonna play in the media charity event, which is usually only 40 or 50 people.
Yeah, I'll be covering that.
Yeah.
I'll be covering the media on the media.
And Eamon's gonna raise it up here with Kings.
And this is the first year that the Legends main event is $10,000, right?
That's right. Yeah, it is. If anyone's not familiar with the promotion they're doing here, it's incredible. You play only 50 hours before August 12th, and this started at the end of June, and they're giving away 10 main event seats to Legends. Button moves over here to seat 1. 10 main event seats worth $100,000, 10 $1,000 seats to tournaments, and another 10 $500 seats. And I wouldn't be surprised if the tournament doesn't get more than, say, 400 people. It's only a $100 buy-in. It's huge overlay.
Right.
And the $100 actually is in the prize pool as well for cash.
Oh, on top of that?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know a lot of people are playing to get more points, more chips. That's how it works, right?
Capped at 150. I already have my 150.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. Amir's going to raise it up here with Ace-King of clubs. Mo is going to call. Mo's got 4 or 5 off suit here.
You're not going to let me steal money and lose money this time.
Well, everybody's in here. Wow. George is in with deuce and trade.
Well, here we go. $320 pot. Amir, the pre-flop raiser. He's hit the ace. Doesn't look like anyone's going to really get involved. Everybody else has missed here pretty much. Yeah, Amir's going to throw a $220 bet out here.
And I predict 3 folds.
Tough prediction.
Yeah. I've been playing this game a long time.
That flop. Yeah, the funny thing about the media charity event at the World Series was I actually went out firsthand.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Did you?
And Dave was trying to go out, but then he just kept accumulating.
Yeah, I was sweating Dave for a while. I got to tell you, some of the hands he was playing he was killing me.
Yeah.
Half his table didn't know whether they should play with him or not play with him. They were just baffled.
Some of them were getting pissed.
Yeah, some were pissed just because he kept on raising.
Yeah.
Well, let people get pissed if that's it. But
so it's interesting to note that he played that way and he won the tournament. Like maybe you should play in a real tournament, not Manor 2.
Yeah, well, halfway is, maybe some of that contributed to some of his moves, but I mean, that field wasn't a tough field for a pro to play.
Right.
I mean, he pulled a couple 2-outers on the river that I saw.
Mo's going to make it 120 to go here with pocket 8s. That should be enough to do it. Well, George actually calls. Once again, we can't see his cards.
Yeah.
Ronnie, we got those little question mark symbols, right? Here we go to the flop. Ace-7 deuce here, rainbow. And Mo's going to bet 100 here. Now, Alan's got King-10 of diamonds. Did Alan make the call with King-10 of diamonds? Wow. The turn's a 9. Alan has absolutely nothing. And Mo's going to bet again. And Alan folds.
Should say raise. You raise more in market.
We get time for a few more hands here. About 5 minutes left in the show. Tomorrow will probably be another 10-20 game. And as I was saying earlier, Jay, we're hoping to do at least this game or a 5-10 game every night now in the next month.
It's packed out there, so I mean, there's a lot of players.
Yeah.
And we'll see a lot of this kind of action, too.
Tournament donks, right? No, you haven't been playing that much in cash games lately.
No, I
right?
actually haven't. I played a couple times. I've played like 5 hours in the last month. I've been playing the tournaments because the mini-series was going on, and then back and forth to Vegas.
You enjoy the tournaments more?
Yeah.
I mean, you must think the cash games are more profitable, though, right? In the long run.
They actually are. In my
right.
You know, but what happens with a tournament is you go months, and then you get a big cash.
Yeah.
And then you go months again, or weeks, or whatever. Little small cashes here and there, but the tournaments pay off infrequently, but they pay a good chunk. And then my cash games, the cash games have been the profit center for me. And which I'm at the time where I need to step up, get up to the 300-500 game.
Ace King 10 here on the flop. Turn is a 9. Alan now has aces up. And he is going to bet.
110.
That's 110. And again, the inherent problem with Alan, as he does really play it passively now, almost kind of like a weakish. I wouldn't say weak tight, because he's playing, the point I'm making is he's playing ace 9 in mid position, and he can't even become comfortable with that hand when he flops top pair.
Right.
He has to wait until he hits
second pair.
Two pair
Yeah,
on the turn.
Yeah, he's back to playing
You
Alan.
feel too comfortable about 2 pair right there, man. You feel too good about 2 pair with that block.
Again, you can watch the show on a replay that runs every half an hour, but everyone watching this is an archived subscriber anyways. Now, again, the confusion was, as I explained at the beginning of the show, is that the replay is only going to be a half an hour. You have to watch the show in the archives to watch the full show. People were confused about that. They thought, live you watch the whole show.
Yeah.
But they were confused. They thought on the replay they could watch the whole 3 hours. And it's not really how it's going to work. It's going to be just a half an hour, and you have to watch the show in the archive. $60 raise here by Mike M. He's got ace, deuce, offsuit. Corey is going to call. And here we go. Three-way action here. Ace, queen, 8 with a couple of spades. Mike M is going to bet 60 here. He's hit top pair. Well, I assume that Corey is setting something up here because he doesn't really have anything. He's got a gut shot to the jack. Can he represent a spade? Turn is an 8, and here, once again, the inherent problem with ace deuce. You can just continue to bet and hope the guy's on a spade draw because your hand is pretty much garbage. He is going to continue to bet. He bets 200 here.
Yeah, I think Corey's plans of taking away from on a later street just didn't materialize there.
I think this is going to be the last hand of the night. Thanks a lot, Jay, for stopping by for the last half an hour.
Thanks for having me.
Makes things easier on me, for sure. I know that's what your goal in life is, to make things easier on me.
Make things easier for everyone around me. I was playing a tournament. I had Francois to my left in that tournament, and he was playing it up, but he was the typical cash game player playing in a tournament, trash talk and all sorts of trying to show cards, but not. And but he was actually playing. He was playing a solid game, but he was really playing it up, and it felt like a cash game.
Well, Corey's got ace 3 of spades here. Gonna raise it up. Make it 80 to go. Now, Garland's got queen 10 of hearts. He's rather deep now, and he's going to make the call. Again, 80
he's making the call in position. So
yeah, 80 in this game, really, it's not a big raise. And we got a guy on the. We have a guy on the phone there. Is he number 6, or he's just playing with his earring? Oh, okay, he's just playing with his earring. Eamon's in there with ace deuce of hearts, king 7-7. Well, if Corey makes a continuation bet here, he's probably going to take it down.
Right.
I got to tell you, though, if I call with queen 10 here and Corey checked me, if I'm Garland, I'm going to bet.
120.
But Corey's going to keep the betting lead, and that's going to do it for us tonight. So there it is, a nice little game of 10-20 No Limit Hold'em. I'm Bart Hansen. I'm here with Jay, the Pajato Seagull. And we will see you tomorrow for another 10-20 No Limit game. Good night, everybody, from Live at the Bike.